Awards 2025. He is also a newly appointed Department of Head for Languages at Ariakhaneng Secondary School. From Ngakamudiri Molema District, Refule Pule, an educator from Situmo Secondary School. She is a physical science teacher for 13 years and a former maths and science department head in Free State Department of Education. From Dr. RSM District, Muikanyi Katise is an educator at Haitone Mankurwane Primary School in Greater Taung and a proud member of the LGBTQIA+ and a BCom educator. From the Department of Basic Education, Luko Bottoman. He is a qualified occupational therapist who has been working for the Department of Basic Education since 2008. He has previously coordinated the Integrated School Health Program as well as care support for teaching and learning, facilitating school, community, and interventions for the advancement of learner social support and learner well-being programs. And of course, Viola Mutsumi, as she serves as the MEC for Education in the Northwest Province, a committed African National Congress member and a former Deputy Speaker of the Provincial Legislature. MEC Mutsumi brings youthful energy and a transformative vision for her role under the overall guidance of the department, which champions learner advancement through educator excellence, inclusive education, vocational training, and robust governance. She will steer today's engagement and commit to embodying your contributions into actionable policy direction. And now, to guide us through today's program with energy, professionalism, and warmth, please welcome our facilitator for this afternoon, a multifaceted artist, singer, poet, MC, philanthropist, and blogger with many years of experience in the entertainment industry. He has graced stages as a member of the Mzansi Gay Choir. Welcome, K. Angelface Mo.
All right. I think we should stand up and sing. What do you think? Yes. Yeah, and I want the song to come from the floor. I won't be singing. Whoever brings us that song, I'll hand the mic over. Can we do that and have show energy? Song. It can be a hymn, sefela, guys, anything. Slogan, anything. Imagine if we had our own church. Can you imagine what would happen every Sunday? I am not even talking about clothes, guys. I'm talking about the singing. I'm talking about different characters. I'm talking about different colors because guys, from where we are standing or sitting, you look bright. I see yellow, I see colors. And thank you guys. That's how you open a gay event, an LGBTI event. I don't know what's going on with my mic, but anyway, may we all please rise up as we are about to begin. We've already started with our program. Take off the heads if you feel like it. And for the singing of our national anthem. And also from the floor again. Blow van ons hemel, uit die diepte van ons Heer. Hoor ons weggebergtes, van die kranse antwoord gee. Sounds the call to come together and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa, our land. All right. I was just telling the MEC in our briefing session that we appreciate the department talking about us with us. I don't know if it registered. Oh, Kilebez, my teacher. Fast. Fast. Na ke slow nyana ke go cooperating guys. I'm a bit slow. Quite ridiculous toxicity, so my brain is just out there. Without wasting any time, guys, I'm going to call upon Ms. Masego Sinne for the opening and welcome address. Can we give her a round of applause?
Thank you very much, MEC. Good morning. Good morning, Bagayesu Dumelang. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you. I'm glad to be here, but I just want to emphasize, to make emphasis of the following. This session, Bagayesu, we just have to take it in a very different way of its own kind, and then be free. It's not just a gathering. It's not just a gathering. I just want us to observe the following as we engage. Ne? Let me see about the space. Let me be comfortable where I can freely talk to this. Let us engage productively on this and make it a point that everyone is comfortable. And then it's not just a conversation I've just said. We are going to celebrate the identity, the community, and then emphasize on the resilience of each and every one of you in a diverse mode and approach. I get putting more emphasis on the theme of today, fostering culture of respect, fairness, and belonging in this Department of Education. And then we are going to touch base on the inclusive policies and guidelines, how best can we accommodate each and everyone in the sector, and then touch base on the issues of professional development and training, how best can we incorporate all the professional development activities such that each and everyone is accommodated, and then teaching and learning is very fluent. And then representation and visibility is very key with regards to us here as the community. And then student-teacher relationship is very important. So as we engage in the interactive session, we should touch based on that one. And then issues of leadership commitment to accommodate this community, let's touch base on that one. And then we gather here with a shared commitment, fostering understanding, inclusion, and equity within the education system and beyond. You are not only confined in the education system, beyond the education system, what is expected of us, what do we expect for a retreat. And then we then have to make it a point that as we engage colleagues, I've made mention that we should be free, and then you might not be here to comment, to make comments. Others are just here to learn. And by how do I accept this change so that I accommodate and accept that there is this community, and how best can I accommodate them in the way I relate with them in the workplace or at home is very important. So let us open our mind, re-engage in an open-minded approach, so that we are able to make change, whether ko mmerekong or ko gae. We have them, but we know that the difficulties that we are facing. We are rare, go and make impact, assist others to make change, accommodate, and get used to the community, so that botshelo bo nne monate. Akere bagaetsho, botshelo bo nne monate, le ko mmerekong, le ko lapeng, accept each other. Akere. So thank you for being here and responding to the call. It was not easy responding to the call. We are going to appreciate your support, your commitment. Building together everywhere can authentically and proudly be accommodated everywhere, not only in the sector, everywhere. Together we are stronger, and together we can make a difference. Enjoy the session.
Thank you so much, Mem Masini. Bohol menopause inketsang. Malona osweta. You, I hope banalidi ekonokafa. You malona wasweta. Guys, they say life begins at 40. Problems begins at 40, Luna. I know I look young, but hey, 40. And a 14 a little. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna play a song from our DJ side, and welcome my friend and our friend, Lebo Molax. Thank you so much. Thank you, teacher. Bring. Absolutely. Bring. Hey. Thank you so much, Dumela. Good morning one more time. So I am going to take a seat, but I introduce us Sinta Hanako right. Otherwise, we may continue with the program. Thank you.
A bona fide entertainer extraordinaire, a social media star, he commands attention not just for his infectious energy and iconic heels, but also as one of South Africa's most academically distinguished hosts. Put your hands together for Lebo Molax.
All right. I look at Lebo and I'm looking at Bode Yakaya Mengu and I'm thinking, Lord, this child, he makes it look so easy. The other day I stood in front of the mirror, guys. I was not impressed with what I was seeing. And I thought to myself, I'm never taking this to the people. Lebo, I want your energy, child. I really want your energy. Can we give him a round of applause again? All right. As we carry on with our program, the welcoming of guests and overview of the session's purpose, setting the tone by MEC for Education, Honorable Envy Mutsumi. Can we stand up and give her a round of applause that a leader like her deserves? Can we scream?
I don't know whether is it working. It's working. No, thank you very much. Thank you. Yo, Lebo rata attention it. But we welcome you to Bokoni Bupirima. By the way, there's no confusion. No, without wasting any time, Lebo, in the morning during our briefing, I was very honest with the panelists here to say that, you know, today in the morning, I went straight to Facebook. Yakhala, Joe. Yakhala, 24/7. Where actually there was this particular person who decided to criticize the event. But I know it's not all about the event, it's all about the MEC. That's where we are confusing issues. But let me tell you something. Society, community, they showed him flames. And I felt that was the right thing to do, so that people out there, they have to start to take this umbrella serious. Because we are in South Africa, we are in a democratic country. They belong here. They are also having the very same rights that they are having. So Lebo, as the MEC of Education, I was appointed on the 7th December 2022. Actually, I started 2023. So throughout my program, I looked at my program. I've managed to interact with the principals, the teachers generally across the province. I've managed to interact directly with the principals and teachers actually who are underperforming. So I'm having these interactive sessions because sometimes as MEC would be there getting only reports, not actually interacting with the relevant people because they are the ones who are challenged there. And then maybe I'll understand much better than being given a report. Last year, this August, as we all know, this month is declared a Women's Month. I celebrated with all the underperforming principals who are women in order to encourage them, to motivate them, to tell them what I'm with you guys. And they were afforded that particular opportunity to interact directly with the MEC to say, MEC, the problem is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rona, if you can assist us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm telling you, we are going to give you results. And I did exactly that because I understood, because they were there. Then this month, normally in the Northwest, you know, June is your Pride Month, but October being celebrated October National. But in Northwest specifically, they've chosen August as their Pride Month. So normally they celebrate it August in preparation ya lona ya October ya no tsantsatsa game ya no re tlhakanele rona ntsa game tsa Northwest. So that's how it works. So I said, man, looking at all the departments, all the MECs across the province, they've done well this time compared to other years when it comes to celebration of Women's Month. Then I said, man, let me come up with something different. Where actually, as the MEC, I'm lacking. I've never had this interaction with the umbrella. But whether you like it or not, label, Department of Education is one of the departments where you'll find this society where they are dominating. So it means that as a department, we are doing good. But the unfortunate part is that we don't appreciate them openly. To say that this is a society, is with us, it's a community, in Alerona is an umbrella, in Alerona, and they're contributing to the Department of Education, but we're not saying anything about it. Okay, regardless of their contributions, their challenges, they differ from other teachers' challenges. But now as the MEC, I'm failing them to create this particular smaller nyana platform to say that I'm here, I'm leading you, guide me. Because you are the one who's supposed to guide me. The policies that I'm pronouncing as the MEC, it must be from you guys. So Kitsa guy, it means that all along I've been pronouncing policies without accommodating. Because you're the only ones who can drive that particular policy. I never had that interactions with you. And you are part of us, and you must be part of those that are going to make sure that we perform in terms of the Department of Education. So hence this particular platform, specifically, and I'm not going to be apologetic about it, unfortunately. Because there's an A there, there's a plus there. I fall under that A. I fall under that plus. So why should I be apologetic about it? This is a democratic country. You are contributing to the results of the Department of Education. You must be recognized, and you deserve that recognition. So as the MEC, I've taken that decision. So hence we are here. It's not going to be anything formal. We are going to interact based on issues that we want to drive because we want to see the Department of Education going forward. And the fact of the matter is that you are dominating here. It means that you are enjoying here. You identify yourself with the Department of Education. It means that there's something that the department is doing in order to close. You go to employment equity, you look at the applications, how the advertiser and all the department, they will be very specific for women, youth, and people with disability. Where's the umbrella? So hence this particular platform. We have to start somewhere. And I was telling them when we were engaging and we were in agreement with all of them, they said, MEC, Leruna, we must assist you as our leader. So we are committing, we are not going to wait for you to create this particular platform. We are leaders on our own. We have to start at the level of the districts so that we have this kind of forums where we are engaging directly with the district directors because you guys fall under the district directors. So that when we plan for the provincial one, at least there's a build-up programs. But most importantly, there's a critic out there to say that when it comes to implementation, tololo. So let's start now. No, but it's for the first time I'm interacting with them. So you can't judge. You can't preempt. This is a waste. For you, it might be a waste, but for them, it's not a waste. And I'm happy, we are having teachers here, we are having our administrators here of the Department of Education. That is why we are having this event. I believe that it will yield positive results. It will strengthen the relations between yourself and the MEC. If I'm having good relations with the principals, with the unions, I must have that particular, you must be able to access me at any given point so that you are able to influence when necessary. By the way, Lebo, let me tell you something. I was accused today to say that Kaliba Wanora me lesbian. Say it. But it's not for the first time. Then you'd ask yourself, if people can be judgmental without knowing who I am, what happens to you guys? So keep us through what every day? I could imagine. It means that these people are going through a lot. They are being judged everywhere. For what reasons, we don't know. But by the way, Lebo, let me tell you a good story about your umbrella. I was born and bred in Madibe, Amakaban. It's just a few kilos. Yes, girl. It's just a few kilos from Mafikeng CBD. That's where I was born. Then Taima and Olady, Ager, the kid lager. I get a hotel. A benna issue, no. They want to move from the Bundus to town because the time about Span in the principal. So he wanted us so that I can build a family. Then the Rahuna Koma Kotlong, Kiko is a Koma Kotlong. Kiko is a go when Konali Pina go. Go start. So I went to start primary school. I went to Memorial. By then it was a middle school. Then later on, because of my academic results, my dad saw it fit. You know, you make sure when it comes to education, your child, at least then he saw it fit for Ante and Kiseko Mabato High School. Imagine Viola Madibe, Makotong starting Mabato High School. It doesn't make sense. To many, it doesn't make sense. How will I start there? Because the environment, it's a former Model C school. And it was fresh from being a Model C school, being converted to a public. You'd imagine, uniform the whole day, just to advertise what I'm from Mabaso High School. Yes. So what happened there, Lebo? I'm just that tomboy girl. Ntaya game, movement. Yeah. Remember what's an environment thing, Angel. So you want to confuse enemies. What I want sorry, ntaya game them being I told you want so because I was a tomboy, I would hide behind that. And it worked for me. So that's how I survived through this umbrella. But I was not part of, but I survived through because I was identified being part. And in a way. That is why, guys, these are my people. Like, we click immediately. But when it comes to this one, we click immediately and so on. That is why it is very important for us as the Department of Education to accept that we do have this umbrella in our department and we have to find ways of collaborating in making sure that their issues are being heard so that we can have a system elements of inequalities, because how we work inequality, you can't talk only about a certain gender, but others are not being included in that particular inequality. There is still inequality in South Africa. There is still inequality in the Department of Education. That is why in most instances, before you can even be hired, some of you were judged. It was easy for you to actually be in this particular department because of how they perceive you or whatsoever. So guys, today I'm here as the MEC of Department of Education, interacting with employees of the Department of Education because they are the ones that are driving service delivery. So my responsibility is to arm them with weapons in order to deliver that particular service delivery on my behalf and on behalf of the Department of Education. Let me take this opportunity once more to welcome you all and be free. From here, these are the panelists. We are going to discuss whatever. Then from here, now to yonke. And we provide solution. And when I lead the resolution, Sarona, then we mark today as a day whereby consistently, so each and every year, we can choose October, because I guess this one is so that there's no confusion. Our annual event like this one, but more that's where we're going to exchange notes. Next year is accountability. We don't have a panel. Now the panel comes back to respond to say that I was given this mandate by this collective. This is how far I am in terms of implementation of making sure that your interests are being addressed in the Department of Education. Thank you very much.
Guys, we have the coolest MEC ever. Young and fresh, man. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? All right, we are carry on program, guys. But do tell the people that are not here that we are live on YouTube and we are also live on Facebook, Department of Education, Northwest. Guys, we apologize at home. But we love you. You are as equal as we are. All right. Now let's move on with our program. The next item says contextual overview, understanding LGBTQIA+ realities in education and workplace. Let's welcome my friend. Let me tell you something. We've been friends for such a long time. And he kept on going up the ranks. And if you know me, you know that I sometimes talk about people on Facebook. Now, because he's my friend and I always see him with Mama Angie. When I talk about Mama Angie, we can't block. What ask her because he loves her. Can you give me a block? Parce qu'il fait leur ish qui a offenda. Qui a offenda lui come on. Qui veut dire exclude mon Facebook or ask her born. Because let me tell you something. He will come for you. He will come for you right there and there. Can ladies and gentlemen give him a round of applause as he come to the fore.
Is it? Yeah, it's on. Yeah. And you know, no one messes with my leaders. Yeah. Even the current one, for that matter. But thank you so much for having us, MEC, and for opening up this moment of reflection and engagement. It really is an honor to be coming to a province which we consider as a front-runner province when it comes to transformation. There are particular things that current leaders don't want to hear. There are 3 words: transformation, inclusion, and equality. And when we're talking about these 3 words in South Africa, we understand exactly what we're trying to do, because we are trying to correct the imbalances of the past. Now we understand, if you don't come from that era, you don't come from that history, when we're talking about these 3 concepts, that you don't feel these concepts need to be supported in basic education. Because we are committed to that. It's the legacy that we come with from the previous administrations to get us to where we are. And so we take it very personally, not just as workers in basic education, but also as members of the public and members of society, when we suddenly now have people who are going to be boldly and publicly talking about undoing or stopping or blocking or halting anything that's supposed to be taking us to transformation, to inclusion, and to equality. We have a problem just on that score. We do have political parties in Parliament, MEC, that would go to Parliament. When we go to Parliament, we're asked, come and account on the work that you do as the Department of Basic Education. Boldly on national television, they would tell the country that this and that is not going to happen. And one of the things that are cited there is the issue around socio-educational inclusion of diverse sexual and gender identities. Publicly, they would say that they're not going to support this should not be happening in our schools. In fact, the people should toe the line, because otherwise it's going to be disruptive. So you represent something that is imagined to be disruptive in education. And so we've got to prove that it is not disruptive. In fact, it can be used to drive the transformational agenda in education. So these are the things that we need to really take care of as the Department of Basic Education. For a very long time, we thought that our issues were only with learners. We didn't worry about teachers. We thought, MEC, that care and support for teaching and learning is only for learners, even though it's called Care and Support for Teaching and Learning, CSTL. Over time, teachers came forward to say that we also have got issues with HIV, we also have got issues with gender-based violence, we also have got issues with racial discrimination in schools. We also have got issues with prejudice on the grounds of sexual orientation and gender identity. And so, for all my sins, the MECs then decided that they are going to hire me so that I lead this program in 2019. I can sit down? Oh, okay, wonderful, thank you. So in 2019, then there I go in, thinking that I'm only going to be dealing with issues of racism only in schools. Then they say to us, oh, by the way, we've got a problem. We've got a problem of discrimination in schools on the ground of sexual orientation, gender identity, and sex characteristics. Now, our country understands sexual orientation because it's gays and lesbians. And increasingly, we're also understanding gender identity, because then it's also about the issues around transgender identities in education. So we're beginning to understand it now, even though we have not quite gotten the grip of it. But when it comes to sex characteristics, that's where we're thrown off the boat completely. And I want us to really focus on this one, because This is the one that is most hidden, but that is also most affected in education. Sex characteristics really just refers to the people who have got intersex bodies. Even in spite of the trajectory that we've enjoyed through the life and the experience of Caster Semenya, our country still doesn't understand. Let me tell you, in our schools, we've got children who are primarily one sex, but secondarily the other sex. For example, we've got children who have got penises, but who also have got breasts in our schools. And unfortunately, we cannot parade them so that we see what is happening underneath that school uniform, but it is happening. Others have got vaginas, and inside they also have got testicles. Others have got a beard, they don't have breasts, and they've got vaginas. And so it is important for our sector to be sensitive, because then when you're going to teach, for example, in class, and you're teaching about puberty, and you're teaching about menstrual health and sanitary dignity, and you're teaching a child who has a vagina but probably doesn't have a womb, doesn't have ovaries, and you're teaching them about something that they probably would never see. They would never see blood on a monthly basis coming out of themselves. But you're teaching them about that, and you're expecting them to learn about that. Others, because they've got an underdeveloped vagina, but they've got a developed penis, and so you're teaching them about, again, menstruation, but they don't relate to this. And then you're also teaching about HIV prevention and the use of condoms, the use of PrEP, and the use of that to prevent early unintended pregnancies and so forth. But then you're dealing with a young person who is not engaging in sexual intercourse of heterosexual nature, but you're teaching them about HIV prevention. And you forget that you also have to teach them about HIV prevention for the context where they come from. We also want to ensure that when they become sexually abused, because we know that they are most vulnerable to sexual abuse and sexual harassment. Everyone who wants to make fun of anyone on the grounds of sex and gender, they always look to the children who are of diverse sexual and gender identities. And also when we go to camps with them, we have we've got a camp in the province, we've got young people, matriculants, we're taking them on a camp, and then we say, boys are going to sleep here, and girls are going to sleep here. And we have completely tripped that child with a diverse sexual and gender identity. And so these are the things that you talk about, that when we talk amongst ministers and MECs in our little corners when we speak, everybody assumes that we're talking about who young people and who teachers sleep with. But it is more than that. It is about human rights. It is about being seen. It is about being given the right to express yourself and really participate in educational programs. We were together with MEC at Rema in July, where we had a Saske, and we saw quite a lot of children, boy children, who are participating, particularly the folklore category, where they dance traditional dance. And they would always separate boys and girls most for those things, and then girls are clapping, and then boys are dancing and stomping their feet. We saw girls, some girls, who are participating in that segment of boys, and some boys who are participating in that segment of girls. And it was completely not disruptive, colleagues. Absolutely not disruptive. And so we ask ourselves all the time, where does the fear of disruption come from? Because those children participated, they sang, they danced, they won, no problem. And so when they want us to fight, they always then say, the Department of Education is establishing unisex toilets. And all of you are like, where does that come from? In fact, many LGBTQI people are saying that you dare establish those toilets, we're not going to use them. You will use them yourselves. To show that there has never been an issue where we say, as a department, we are going to establish unisex toilets. But they know that if they say that to members of the public, they will leave us fighting on our own and they'll watch us fight because they understand that, I mean, you still have got pit latrines and stuff. What about rape in schools when boys want to use? Let me tell you something, no boy is going to want to use a girl's toilet. There are cisgender boys in this room who are allies. They will tell you, at no point, even if they like boys, but at no point will they ever want to use a girl's toilet. So this is a provision that is made for the minority, for us to be able to advance the minority rights of children. And that's why we do it. We're not doing it for disruption, and neither are we doing it to exacerbate the vulnerability of girl children at school toilets. Because no boy will want to make use of a girl's toilet, just ukutamba yoganga. Because that toilet is used for females and anyone else who identifies as a female. That's a female toilet. You don't need a transgender or a second or a third set of toilets for us to do that. We've seen quite a great deal of work that is done in Northwest. For example, Northwest teachers have sat down with children of diverse sexual and gender identities. And they ask them, what toilet do you want to use, boy or girl or child? And then the child would say, and then teachers would say, okay, then if you don't want to use either the boys or the girls' toilet, you can actually use the staff toilet. Again, colleagues, not disruptive, because in that school, it's probably that one child who's using that toilet of the teachers. It's not everybody. So it's not disruptive. So again, we don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, so that's the situation with children. And we need to then understand that every time when people are saying that we're over-sexualizing children, we've got to really defend this piece of work. Because if you talk to straight people or heterosexual people, and you ask them how they learned to be straight, they will not tell you that they were ever taught to be straight, because it comes with their identity. Being straight comes with their identity. Is that a sign that says that I've spoken for too long?
No.
Oh. Okay. I was watching a funeral just over the weekend, to digress, and then they started singing when the daughter or the sister of the deceased was speaking. And then she took the mic and she said, excuse me, we allowed you to do your church things. It's now my turn. This is my brother. I'm going to speak and finish. So that's the work that we do with children, and we need to protect the children. But I think MEC is correct. The greater part of work is the one now that talks to teachers. Teachers are telling us that in schools where they teach, and even admin support people for that matter, who are queer, in schools where they teach, they are blamed for every child that walks through the door saying that they are queer. They say that, when you are the one who brought this thing, now look, more and more children are coming up to say that they are queer. And all that staff member has done was to create a safe space for children to come out and say that this is who they are and this is what they want to be. But then they are blamed. Teachers sometimes, some of them are coming from same-sex marriages, and their marriages are not recognized. For example, if you dare be a lesbian couple or a gay couple and then your partner passes on, the school will not support you as a teacher like they would to a heteronormative or heterosexual couple. And so teachers then feel that there is no recognition. Sometimes their partners who are, when they are deceased, their partners who are left behind are struggling to claim their staff pensions and all of those things. There is no support at all. When their partners get sick, when they've got babies, when they've got children, maternity leave and all of those things, these are all things that we need to talk about and ensure that we create the right kind of platform for our teachers and our workforce to be able to thrive. Otherwise, we will not be able to thrive. You will not be able to give us the support that we need from you if we don't take care of all of these gaps that we see in practice. So, as I conclude, Angel, Legislatively, we are fine because our constitution is clear and our legislative underpinnings are very clear. Our policies are clear. But when it comes to practice, it is a big problem. And I think that we would need to join forces so that we fix the practice part of things. And I think Northwest is leading the flock in South Africa because I've never heard of any MEC engagement of this nature anywhere in this country. In fact, instead we've got MECs that say that it ain't gonna happen in our schools. And so at least we've got allyship that we have in our MEC in Northwest, Meviola, who is going to, in those rooms, when we discuss about the protocols, for example, for the management of unfair discrimination in schools and the guidelines for the socio-educational inclusion of diverse sexual orientation, gender identity, and sex characteristics. At least we've got MECs that are going to say, big ups, this is the right direction, this is the way to go, and this is what we need to do. And we hope that in 2026, when we come back, MEC will come to you to say that these are the 2 guiding documents that guide practice in our schools. Now let's use them. Thank you.
Oh my God. No, I was just sitting down there because, guys, let me tell you something. People think that when we gather together, it's all about dancing and, you know, hey, who was called today, man? Huh? Can we give him a round of applause? Because, guys, this is so informative. And I got my teacher, I told la grasp, but I can't go back pen a jota down, man. Khale jotted down all the memory di shabu. Excuses after excuses. Wait, I'm standing here and I am thinking just to myself, Akuma Doda.
Happy.
Now, guys, since he's been talking about all of these terminologies and whatever, can I let you into this joke? So when I was in high school, there were these 2 girls who were sitting next to me, and one day I overheard the conversation. The other one is like, Mata, Obofale Pond. And they both have short hair. Maromo was about Mata, Obofale Pondo. Ole are, Mata Bofale Pondo, and I'm thinking, I am interested Mole Pondo only. And guess what, guys? These girls, because it's noisy in the class, they lift their things and they show each other pubic hair. And I'm like, do you know what they did? Bantekata's part of the entire year. And wait, guys, by the way, I see my people. Let me see, I'm from Dr. RSM. I am from Dr. RSM. Well, I'm also in the corporate world, so corporately. Guys, I'm gonna now hand over to MEC and Lebo Molax. I'm going to be taking a break, but I will be probably running around with the mic as now we are about to enter into the next session. MEC, I don't see the intervals here in our program. I don't know what.
Yeah,
remember 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, we should be done.
Yeah, we should be in.
Remember, the most important thing is to allow them and the 4 to do the contribution. Tina, we are here to listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll be tossing the mic, guys, as we but Lebo, over to you, my darling. Can you please come here so we can take a picture together? Man. Gay khabile. Here makazu khabile. Wabora. Thank you so much.
Angel Face, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, gays and lesbians, trans and bis, straight and allies, a very good morning to you all. Now, I go by the name of Lebo Molex. Most of you do know me as that, but you only call me Molex if you have a degree. If you don't have a degree, you call me Lebo Molax. Molax. How come you try Molax? Molex. So I did that on purpose because I'm trying to encourage people to go to school.
Yeah.
So how about Molex? Molex, but you need a degree. You need to obtain a degree. Born and bred from Mafikeng, right here, Kumuntiwa, Kitseni School Primary School, the Convention Primary School. From the Convention, Kiwikiako Rastembe, Ketsana Mohuasi Medley, Kitseniko, Morunga Primary, Bikirmohuasi Medley, then Bikibua, Ebikiako St. Mary Secondary School, Mulumanyane Mo. Kenekitsanali Ausi Oskolo. Onun ruta bile. Nersa tse skola rotli. Oh, yo. Nyanya we vakanze. Ani ruta ni. Onwira your practicals. Akyo. Ne ke sa yitse gore kwa leloko. Ke tsa go find out later kare o wa re ropa. Oh, but anyway, right, ka grade 11 ku St. Mary's competition ku Department of Water and Sanitation area, we must do a chart and a presentation on how we are going to conserve water at school. I entered that competition and I happened to make it to the regional level. From regional level, the competition intensified. Now it's challenges, kidi quizy, kidi questioni, kidi SA. I made it to provincial. I represented the Northwest. Wow. Now go provincing, it intensifies because Rokopanali Banavadi, Babatangu Isa, Babatangu Kuro, Babatangu Kolonse no Horitiking. But who has the Kwase Obutansa Sibua? Limutula are heteronormative. Limutule. Hi, but where's the choir? Look at it. Haketlo Hopala Kesekwa. Okatla Orengo, Marifa Nefa, Rakumpit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce, or rather let you know that I won the first national male aqua enduro, 2009. What that means is, Mokharha Africa Bura Yotlika Bupara. One or two people per province, a female and a male, by represent ko nice na ko Western Cape. And I happen to be the first national Mohubone Baboli. Can I tell you it was not about Sekhoa? Confidence, energy, and how you treat people. That was the only thing Engwini sitting. I get all rakiri, Nikelo Butali, Niki Palamang. Hey, Butalabon, Nikelo Butali, non Sekelo Butali. Marequaha Winiswaki Butali, Kiwiniswaki humanity. Or this guy is a gay guy. Marhaute Banyana, what's and how the Bashiman, what's and wait, one always taking confidence in the Ilbutlok. Babi Bampa Bazari, patelating for 7 years, school university, Mamaka Haitho Patala Santa University. Because of that competition. Now I'm standing in front of you holding 4 science degrees, with Master of Science being my highest qualification. All obtained at the University of the Free State. My first degree is BSc in Geology, which is an undergrad. My second degree is an honors, which is BSc in Geology, where I specialized in mineralogy. My third degree is another honors degree where I combined geology and hydrogeology. Now, hydrogeology, actually groundwater, which is, hydrogeology. So combined, it's called groundwater. Now, my third honors is BSc with specialization in hydrogeology. Woo! There was a sign. There was a sign. Now, with Master of Science in Hydrogeology being my highest qualification, now you call me George, the geologist, during the week, but you can call me Lebo Molex on a Friday. And on a Saturday and a Sunday. Ladies and gents, ga ke tlo go bua go le gontsi ne ke re ke le fefela introduction ya gore I'm a professional scientist registered with SIGNISP. I am practicing as a hydrogeologist. Ga le batla metsi borehole, le nkopeng ke nna ke le dirilelang borehole. It doesn't matter which meter. Ha le batla metsi fela ke nna mma metsi. Ne ke le mma di orange maloba mo. Ke shebile o so lapere orange ka re o ke ba ka e galela narki. Ya no. Ke nna mma metsi. Ha le batla di borehole ke teng. Nonetheless, I am here at a capacity of not just an influencer, but also rendering my services as an MC, but also to interact within the spectrum of the LGBTI community, because as an icon in the public figure, I am proud to be a gay man. My pronouns are he, by the way. He, how about make it? How is she for like a why stretch? I know, but I'm comfortable if you call me a he. That's why it's called Boys in Heels.
Yeah.
We will be starting with our panel discussion, MEC. Ga ke itse gore at this moment, because I'll be your co-facilitator, o no ka rata gore re simolole jang. So obviously, I see, you guys have programs, right? I think we are at that part where we are looking at the challenges in the workplace and educational spaces. We've got 20 minutes to discuss that, and I see Honorable Meviola Mutsumi will be my co-facilitator, and then Kibona Khapele Kenneth Kaundali and Dr. Kenneth Kidi Regine. Kidi panel. Oh, great. There we are. So maybe should we start perhaps with the floor, where the floor can tell us the challenges they are facing in their workplace, particularly in educational spaces. As an educator, le kopana le bana ba ileng gore ke di gay, ba bang ke di lesbian, ba bang ba na le identity issues. Guys, South Africa has identity crisis. Ha le ka tsena mo TikTok, batho o mora o bona a tsentse makeup a apere crop top o re ke gay a ba re o straight. That happens. If you guys are on TikTok, you'll realize that we are having a lot of identity issues, because we're not abo bona motho o bore o ke lesbian hela ya ka go judgewa MEC ka gore ana le botomboy go ke lesbian kante ena a itse deep down or ga se lesbian. We're having that. It's a big issue. Now I can imagine as a learner ko sekolong o na le identity issue, mistress maybe aba go ra heaven a son. Even a son, some of the mara ulu gay, ubufila gore mistress o offendile. Kgotsa mistress ababona nkare o na le lesbian ina aba go dlalisa bolo le bashimane re tsama yo go dlala bolo ke ro rata boshimane. Mara ngwana modimo ene a re he na mosaki lesbian ke fela re ke na le botomboy. Now, what are these challenges that you are facing every day? Challenges tse leng gore di ka oppressa bana, di ka disappointa bana, ebile di ka affecta academic performance ya bana because of how they've been treated by their either fellow learners or educators at large. So I'm gonna need another mic. Sound technician, if you can provide me another cordless mic, please. Thank you. Can somebody bring me that mic quickly? Thank you so much. Now, is there anybody who would like to say something? Anybody who had been through such an experience where perhaps they do have an LGBTIQ, thank you, sir, an LGBTIQ learner, or perhaps incident kapa they are finding it difficult to address the issue le ngwana o. Thank you so much. Please, when you speak, you introduce yourself and tell us from which school you are, and then you can start speaking. Over to you.
Good day to the house at large. I go by the name of Sabata Morotolo, and I am teaching at Reboni Secondary School in Swartagans. Yo, guys, it's a lot. Yo, it's really a lot. First of all, to start with myself, I think I was definitely the first gay teacher at Reboni Secondary School. So it was actually so hard because Swartagans on its own, it's a very small place, ne? So what would happen is every time, for an example, when I'm from the staff room, or rather the office where I'm based, going to classes, yo, it was so hard, guys. My first year, bana would literally scream to an extent it get the on school. I don't know if I'm making sense. And I'm trying to fit into their shoes because I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe these learners are not really exposed to this because that is the only secondary school in the area. Do you understand? So even with regard to learners, I felt like most of the teachers didn't understand the learners because they started coming out upon seeing how confident I was. Then they started accepting themselves. They started, I don't know, being truthful to who they are. So I can say even through it was, because I remember back then, my principal when I was transitioning from varsity life, getting to the world of work. So Hunter Varsity, I had this other standards, really very dramatic. Then I think in Kilek I could this other time, American got this skin pigeon. I carry you need to be inducted here and there. Then principal, no, when I'm in here. And by then I felt but he was an elderly person. Because there were times Linda, my grandmother would feel like no man. So even with regard to the learners, honestly speaking, my colleagues with regard to inclusivity and all of that, they are really improving. They are really doing well. And I've been communicating with the fellow colleagues here to say, honestly speaking, homophobia with regard to my workplace, and the one thing I love is they learned mostly Kanna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being an inspiration. You are truly an inspiration. So we will get, that was an ice break. Nikki, how are you? Yano re boela ko di penalisting e be re tla mo go lona. Ne ke batla re relaxing o wane a tlotle so that re be free. Ga o batla go bua ka Setswana motho wa modimo. Se ka nna under pressure gore na le di degree tse 4. Ra se tlhaloganya le tsone Setswana. All right. Great. Re tlo go somolla ka moikanyekadise ka gore o motho go ga MEC. Moikanyekana district ya gago ke eng?
Dr. RSM.
Yeah?
Dr. Roots Mompati.
Okay.
Oh, you already have, yes,
okay,
yes.
great. Oh, Lena Lidi Lapere. Okay. Sumullache introduce. Akiti unosetsuba introduced earlier on. Otherwise, you may remind them. It's not a problem to reintroduce yourself so that otle okhona otsene mo go tsone. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Moikanyekadise.
Dumelang.
You can say.
Ke kopa go ema because la ke ruta go mona tse ke tsamayang because ha ke dutse. Oh, someone tonight.
Oh, go bonana.
All right. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Ya le ba gamise. Dumelang ba gaetso. Ke nna Moikanyekadise ke tlhaga ko Dr. Roots Mompati district ko Greater Town. Ke ruta ko go itsone Mankurane Primary School. When I went through the questions, the points, I think the first one in the challenges we experience within the professional space, and then there's discrimination, this harassment like verbal abuse and everything. But I think I've never ever since 2016 never experienced any discrimination or whatsoever. And I think it all starts confidence is the key. Like if you have confidence with yourself, like how do you how tsenana. But how people are actually going to disrespect you. Sorry about that. Yes. Other challenges key social exclusion, yeah. Because of I think there's only one experience. When I this other private school, so about okay, sharp. For fun gaming, I think my teacher was my teacher, and then because and that's what racism is still like large jump. So in Kibata netball, life, serious. I'm like, how? Keep fun game we're just exercising. Why you know how white people are like, yeah. And then the other one, I think one of the challenges, man, I think it is the rural areas, people are not exposed to us. You understand? Because they think, I don't know, or something. Other people, they hide their sexual orientation just because of to secure a job or something. Because of how to maybe let's say you're a trans, and the next thing happens, you're a maid, like one time you've got boobs. That's why other people, they hide their sexual orientation because they want to secure a job. And then point number 2 the ongoing initiative led by communities to raise awareness, I think if is through education, because I think if we educate, MEC has this project, if we educate the public about us and then our lives, we did not choose to actually be who we are. Okay, this is just how we are. You understand? There's nothing that we can do about it. And another one, we must ensure that if the public is aware of us, I think even the violence amongst, because they want to turn them, you understand, or they get raped. But if the general public have like a proper knowledge about us and then I think the violence is like point number 3, recommendation for fostering a safer, which is I think you're ready to get today, safer and more inclusive environment for LGBT. And I think the department must just actually implement anti-bullying policies. At least next year, something nobody gets bullied because of their sexual orientation or even when I go schooling. That's why I always colleague, listen, in need or something. Because like if you like, if you and then you want to present in a certain way, you feel like no, just be free, feel free. Being Ganaka, Hatikim, Kamusapa or Kalimela or no. So Kalamolunga, I tell you about address was then I Makala, who many who dry, married kids have Kuditi to have you long time. So Nagota, what all go great. Men are get hey, hi, you want unlike because hi, Gimus. You understand? So I can't say her no one color or anything because whole. I think if you yeah. And then point number 4, strategies to address discrimination, bias, and hostility in the workplace. And if you I think you're just to raise awareness and make sure that we are protected as LGBTI members. And then point number 5, which is the last one, measures to effectively support and protect learners who identify as LGBTI. I think maybe the department after this have implemented the anti-bullying thing policies into place for everybody or in a safer environment.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick recap on what he said, which is very important. Awareness is important, ladies and gentlemen. That is why educators are here. Case in say long gore baruta bana ba tla se ruta bana ba sa se itse. So se se botlhokwa ke gore baruta bana ba itse gore ba rute bana. So it's important that we address these issues with you at this level, so that when you go to the ground, you are able to reach out and become a powerful tool of knowledge to these young kids. Number 2, awareness, self-acceptance. Identity. Remember, I told you what identity is. Moto ID it like male, hat female. Jo. Tabo. Yeah, male. Because and also what I realized, MEC. Allah it's gore batho mamodimo ga se batho botlhe ba ba leng homophobic. Ba bang ga ba tlhaloganye. What's nna kana ke ya go Joburg ke lemogile gore no man batho ba ga ba homophobic ga tlhaloganye gore ha nna le chance ana go tsa go khoninga ba re ke addressa yang di gay ke wa tlhaloganye. So ya sometimes ha nna hostile a go avoida o nagana gore wa go tlhoya o nagana gore ke homophobia kante wa go avoida because ha itse gore o go addressa yang o tsentse manala o ditedu a ke re mem a ke re se and ha ke batle go offenda wa tlhaloganya gore e so sometimes it's not homophobia, it's lack of understanding. It's lack of awareness. So that is why we need to divulge and we need to discuss in detail gore bana re ba treat yang and se se le motlhoko gape ke gore re ba fe chance to express themselves. Na go di-toilet tsa ko sekolong a ke itse le gore di-toilet tsa banna di ntse jang tsa St. Mary's ke bua ka tsa Molomanyaneng and di ndile kwa ga ke itse le gore e yang toilet ya bashimane mo teng ne ke latela favorite maths teacher yaka ke re Mr. Musi key ya di-toilet e be ke ya go di-toileteng tsa mamista and le teng ke ikutswa gore ke mang a ntshebile ke ne ke phela botlhoko o tlo go botlhoko because ya no tshwantsano ke shebe gore me mamang a ska ya okay ha ba latlhile site ke bula toilet ke a tsena ha ke hetsa ke utlwa gore mongwe wa flasha ka ha tshwantse ke emele gore turudu e le gone ke tswa mo di-toileteng tsa ma-mistress ke ya go ha tichere ke re ke a leboga tichere ke tshaba go ya ko di-toileteng tsele because kwa jo bane ba re drintšhelang ba re batla di-5 rand anyway now moving on re tla ya ge ko Dr. Kenneth Kaunda looking at Elvis Ramonana. Did I get that right? Okay, before we move on to Elvis, ki bone letsogo, Abuti, did you have something to say perhaps from Kang Enzri bua le Mwikang? You just want to add, okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, great. Then I don't have to run in hills. Yo, just have to walk like a queen.
Okay, dumalang everybody. Lekai. Good thing. You all speaking to Reginald, Reggie Mugler from Rustenburg, a teacher from Rutanam Primary School. Ne? So what I actually experienced during my teaching years, I'm a choir conductor, by the way. Thank you so much. So my first years of conducting in a choir, the school, the kids, you know, the kids have this mentality where soprano is sung by girls, alto by girls. Every boy must sing tenor. You understand? But remember, they are still young and they're learning. So I was enforcing this thing of saying, a voice is a voice, guys. Let's sing what you're comfortable with, okay? Be there, be there. So during my years, I experienced this one girl who was lesbian, okay, from a tender age. So she was singing soprano. So it came the time where we had to go for choir. Now I was addressing uniforms to say, so by that time, mostly all my sopranos were girls and altos were still girls, and then all my tenors were boys. So I was like, okay, so all the girls are gonna be wearing this, and all the boys were gonna be wearing that. Fine. But now she was in soprano, and she never in her entire life at school, never wore a tunic. She had never. She would always put on school pants and a blazer or a track top. So now, all my girls were wearing tunics on soprano. She was a soprano, by the way. Then she had an issue to say, Mom, please call Sir Reggie because I'm not gonna wear that thing on stage. And as a person of the umbrella, as a teacher who loves their kids, I had to come up with a solution towards that. To say, okay, Tseho, what would you like to wear? Sir, I want to wear my school uniform, like the boys. It's fine. Tseho, you're gonna wear that, so how I put my choir was soprano, alto, and tenor in the middle. I'm saying, I'm gonna put you right in between the sopranos and tenors so that your voice can blend with the sopranos, but at the same time you can feel comfortable wearing whatever that you're wearing. That brought me to a sense of would say, let's look at school policy in terms of uniforms. Imagine if the school did not have trousers for girls. Imagine that school which where girls only gets to wear a tunic. And that girl feels uncomfortable in that situation, you know? So that also should be addressed, school uniforms, that these kids must be accommodated, understand? It came a time where she went for a leaders camp. She was chosen as a leader. Now, all the leaders from the school, all the girls, literally, they wear that tunic, the new tunic for the leaders, and they are actually their new uniform. She was not comfortable at all, from what I knew. When she was in the 5th grade. Now she was in grade 7, had to be a leader, had to dress like the girls because she was now forced because she's a leader, understand? So please, uniform policy should be addressed to principals and to the schools, SGBs, etc. That's my point right now, thank you.
Thank you so much. Round of applause, ladies and gents. Great, now over to you, Elvis, with no further ado. Oh, okay. All right, okay.
I don't know whether I'm audible or not. Yeah. Very interesting. I've encountered that particular challenge in one of the schools in Ngakamudiri Molema in Mafikeng, where the parents actually, they had to come to my office, where actually there's a school where the policy is very clear. Boys, trousers, girls, skirts. So it was very difficult for me because as the MEC, remember I'm a policy driver. There is a policy there that is clear to say that the boys, then I ask a very simple question to the parent. But who's behind this formulation of these policies? Because expectation is that all the relevant stakeholders must participate. It's not all about me as the department. All the parents, together with the teachers, they must agree based on their policy. We don't impose. Department are not impose. I had to do something little to say that I had to issue out an instruction to the principal. The principal, as much as I understand that our schools are being run and guided by policies, but let's agree. The parent has accepted gore ngwana wa gagwe o belonga mo ha comfortably ka skete. So how do we resolve this? No, MEC, it means that I have to go back to the kid, but now the learner must go to class because at the same time we are contravening the very same constitution and our policy, disruption of teaching and learning. Let's agree that you guys, you are going to go back, but this particular learner must go to school wearing that particular trouser. Hari apare chini. Ari ki batla go apara because trouser is part of the uniform. So it's one of the things where I identify the problem, you know, more in future because I'll be seen as somebody who's contravening the very same policy, whereby now our school principals and management are being undermined because now every time the MEC, an element of interference there. So I was just actually supporting the statement there to say that I think what we have to do, the gap, our parents don't understand their roles and responsibilities. They are part of the Department of Education. They must be at the forefront of formulating the very same policy because now I won't be there. I'll be there. But when the problem comes, who's supposed to resolve that particular problem? It's me. And in Liling, it will be the very same schools to say that, but you are interfering. That is why we are unable to control management proper. So it's well noted. Yeah.
Thank you so much, MEC.
All right, colleague.
Yes, colleague.
Hey, mahonza ikhansa ka di phura. Rona banyana ba matric o nag. All right, guys, because I feel like we've been sitting for too long, maybe we should just add a musical item, just to stretch our legs a little bit, and then we will carry on. Also, guys, for the sake of time, I know we all have stories here. I'm not trying to cut anybody, but let's cut to the chase. And do you get what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that would want to share, ne? But I'm not taking anything from the previous speakers, ne? All right, I love you. Let's bring and also, ladies and gentlemen, President Gay Uteng, man. President Gay Uteng, Kapina DJ.
My queen, the president himself. Hair selfie. We see him when I'm going to him.
The song. Hey DJ, do you want to play a song for me?
Not names. I got cool in it. Not yet.
All right, DJ, do you have something for us? Because guys, remember I said we must stand up and dance just a little bit. It's becoming too formal for me.
Dumela mo presidente. Mo kamedi wena mo eteledi pele. Re go tlhompile. Ne ke le go ba amogela o ba gase ka ya ga Rebecca Malope. O ba gase ka Gengazile Mfada. O tla gona ba gase naka. Are ke le gasa kere? applause, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so the DJ is having some technical issues. So in the meantime, we are trying to save time. Let us go ahead until he is prepared. Elvis, every time I bua fela hao, ba re khala, o itse gore ha ke re ke bua le wena fela, ba re stoppa. Finally, over to you. Now, it's very important to know pronouns.
Okay. I'm a he.
You're he. Ladies and gentlemen, over to Elvis, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a he. I think most of you know me from TikTok. The learners called me Twin Black because they did ask me, Hore, are you a ma'am or are you a sir? And then I said, what do you think? And then one of them said, I think you are a twin plaque. And I said, what is a twin plaque? So, that's me, but I prefer to be called a he. The challenges that we face in our schools, I am a life skills, life orientation person, care and support for teaching and learning. I'm there. Got position 2 for the NTA district round in Kenneth Kaunda. Thank you so much. And over the years, I have taught in grade R and also in the intermediate phase. Now I'm going to talk about the implementation of policies, which is a challenge for us. I'm going to talk about advocacy, which is also a challenge. Advocacy for the parents, advocacy for the management of the schools, advocacy for the learners, as well as advocacy for the whole entire teaching staff. The challenges that we normally face, everything that is school-based, we're always told about policies that needs to be followed, policies that needs to be implemented. But when it comes to us, there is nothing that is backing us up. When it comes to us, we are always excluded. However, we are expected to do more than what we are supposed to do. If you can just think of how many caps are you wearing in your position. We are CSTL coordinators. We are BEI mentors. We are teaching 2, 3, 4 subjects. We do a lot of things. They are expecting excellence from us, but you cannot even go to a simple bathroom and feel comfortable. Socially, we have places where we go to, of which these places are nice, we enjoy ourselves, we get to be ourselves, we get to be who we are. But the place where we contribute the most, the places where we feel free and comfortable, where we spend most of our time, that's the place where we feel uncomfortable. And when we feel uncomfortable by the lack of the implementation of policies, then it makes our work much difficult. Now, if parents were able to be advocated about LGBTQI+, if learners were able to be advocated, were able to be given the platform to say, you know what, come to me when you need help, come to me if you don't understand something. If we give them that platform, we make ourselves known, I think things will be much better. So those are the challenges that we face in our schools. So not going to dwell too much on it, but during the course of the interactions, I think those are the kind of things that I would definitely like to talk about. If we could have implementation of these policies, then things would be much better and the environment would be much safer. So those are the challenges, because I had to move from foundation phase to go to the intermediate phase because the policy said that I have an intermediate phase and therefore I cannot teach grade R. And parents, the school is new, come from Kanana Primary School in Kanana, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. The school was new when I went there, so I was the only male gay educator at that school. I'm still the only gay educator at the school, but I wear so many hats that sometimes it gets so exhausting. And, you know, I feel that I just need that something to back me up, that's something to, you know, should I encounter problems, what am I going to do? Who am I going to go to? What am I going to say, you know? So everybody else and the unions and the committees and the forums, they are backed up by a certain constitution. What about us? And in conclusion, we are from the same district, but we don't even know each other. We don't know the challenges that we face as the community. So having those policies and also implementing them and ensuring that we do check in every now and then to see if there are any developments or things like that, things would be much better. So I'm going to end it for now. Thank you so much.
That was very brief and straight to the point, quite profound. Thank you so much. Is there anybody who would like to say something based on what? Oh, there we go. I like this. I like that. Can we have a female to speak? We've been having a lot of male voices, you know.
Ooh, DK.
Sorry, I'm not dimming your light, sweetie. We are coming to you. Trust you me. Like, can I have a voice of a lady? Or a lesbian, perhaps, if they are around.
But, yeah. Shh. I found one, guys. I found one this side.
Okay, good morning, colleagues, and good morning, our lovely visitors. My name is Kometi Kifilwe. I'm teaching life orientation and English at Traito Secondary School. And I'm excited to be here because I'm conducting a study, which is my final year. I'm submitting in 6 weeks' time. My title is Exploring Teacher Preparedness for Safeguarding LGBTQI Learners' Rights.
What?
Public school.
Oh my God! We need that published. We need access to that paper. We need access to that paper. MEC,
Okay, as the speakers have been communicating, I have noted some points. Unfortunately, there are certain things that I cannot share now because the study is not yet published. Therefore, I'm going to speak from my own personal experience from school. Yeah, and the first thing that I want to talk about, I'm really sorry about my voice. I have a touch of flu. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is we are diverse. The element diversity makes us different. We are different, sorry. Because we come from different cultures, we observe different religions, traditions that we do. So now these things, we bring them to the school environment because they influence how we look at people, or how we look at things, how we look at different things. Yes, let me just put it that way. So now these things, they influence our attitudes and our responses to the rights of LGBTQI. They do not have specific rights, but their rights are the same as the same rights that covers us as individuals according to the Constitution. Therefore, and also our attitudes are influenced by these diverse cultures, diverse traditions, as well as the religions that we observe. So now, number 3, I'm going to talk about the silences. The Constitution does acknowledge the right of LGBTQI, especially the equality clause where it says everyone is equal and should not be discriminated on the grounds of sexual orientation and all those things. So I don't know if that's where the problem is, because maybe it's not explicit enough, because in our schools we do not have our policies are very silent on the issues of LGBTQI. You'd find that the code of conduct is very silent. It's not saying anything about them. The uniform policy is not saying anything about them. So the uniform policy, I believe that it should not be specific to say this is girls' uniform, boys' uniform. They should just be general. This is the school uniform. Then the learners can choose what they want to wear, because freedom of expression is not limited to expressing yourself through communicating. It can be shown by means of by means of clothing. So so there is lack of awareness. Teachers are not equipped. We are given the policies, but we are not trained on how to implement these policies. Like, for an example, the CS policy is the inclusive policy, but it is also silent because discrimination is a barrier in schools. If you are discriminated, you are most likely to drop out of school, kill yourself, maybe commit suicide, or maybe absent yourself and fail as a result of missing a lot of things. And then also, teachers are depending on their knowledge of Constitution to navigate through the cases of LGBTQI. Their knowledge to say everyone is equal. So they make their own discretion. They do not refer to the policy in the school when they solve the cases of LGBTQI, because even the code of conduct is silent. And then also, sorry, and then also like, implementation is not, it's not possible because teachers are not trained. They are not trained on these issues. And then we depend on social media to learn about these things. A lot of people don't know. The issue of pronouns, you don't know whether to say a girl, boy, or whatever. So even the curriculum is very silent. I heard one of the speakers talking about learners are being taught the topic of sexuality is focusing only on the heterosexual, forgetting that even the homosexuals are engaging in sexual activities in their different ways, and they are more prone to these sexually transmitted diseases, yet they are not taught, and the textbooks are very outdated. They are very outdated. Now, a lot of things have evolved. There must be a change. And then, oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry. I wanted to say that song for the last time. A policy grounds us. If we do not have an explicit policy, like for an example, you know that as a teacher, you're not supposed to date a learner. So you know that if you do it, you will be in the wrong side of the law. But if you do not have a policy, it's easy for you as a teacher to even perpetuate this discrimination because there is nothing here that you can refer to. Thank you.
Well said. Right. Thank you, DJ. That was great. Liko would like to say something as an addition to what our lady was saying now, which is very important and quite profound. Over to you, Liko.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad, MEC, that the teacher is raising those issues. I think it's important for life orientation and life skills teachers to now know that as a sector we have published a new set of life orientation textbooks, only in June though, so I would understand if teachers are not yet aware of them, because they are actually addressing this issue. If you page through those textbooks, you'll see the progressive nature of the content that is located in those textbooks. The second thing that you raised was around CS and how CS should be responding to inclusion issues broadly, not just disability. I'm glad you are raising this because the QLTC at the moment is sitting with a problem where they say, if a child is discriminated in school, where should they go? At the moment, they only run to the QLTC structure. But in actual fact, it's the school-based support team that should be dealing with those issues. But the school-based support team is hands-offish when it comes to issues of discrimination in schools. And I think we need to resolve this as a sector. I'm glad that you're raising it because it means that's where we're gonna have to start. SBST is actually, this issue of discrimination is your issue. No one else is supposed to be. We will support you as QLTC and everybody else, but it is your issue to respond to.
Round of applause, ladies and gents. Unfortunately, we'll have to continue with the panelists. We will open the floor for discussion. We are looking at time. With that being said, from Bujanala, please, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Kolani Kwadwa.
Oh. Bodan nonke makhaya, ni right? Niphilile, ndiyavakala. Igama lam ndinguXolani Mqwathi kaDlayedwa. Ndicela ucwangco ngalokho uthetha mna. Thank you so much. Like I was saying, igama lam ndinguXolani Mqwathi kaDlayedwa. AmaXhosa kuthi, they will have a problem if ever I don't introduce myself in Xhosa. But I'm an educator here in the Northwest. Ke itse go bua Setswana, ke tseba go bua Sesotho. So I'm very multilingual, don't have a problem. So thank you so much. Thank you, MEC. Thank you, Likopotoman Bambangazo Zosbili Kuwe, Mukudi Tamaha. Mukudu Tamaha. Thank you so much. I am an educator, a newly appointed departmental head at Ariakhaneng Secondary School. I like the fact that educators today, they are talking about the issues, MEC, that are involving Bana ba bona more. Since I'm listening from the ground, from the floor, and also here. But there are 2-3 things that I want us to talk about or to engage today. It's about us, educators who are members of the LGBTQI in the workspace. Because we cannot assist these learners that are members of the LGBTQI if ever we, as the educators that are queer, are not helped. So now we start by healing us as the head, so that we are able to become of aid to our learners. So if ever the Department of Basic Education gives us support, if ever the Department of Basic Education empowers us as queer educators, and we as queer educators take up space and take charge, we will be able to address issues that are affecting our little ones. Number one, I want us to talk about the challenges that we face, we as the educators. We are suffering from workplace insecurity, number one. I, for one, as a queer educator, workplace insecurity, psychological stress. Because now, when I am insecure at the workplace, I have workload that I must deliver. I cannot perform much better because I have my own issues that I am gay. And then I am insecure because the principal does not acknowledge the fact that I am gay, does not even see or rather address me with dignity for the fact that I am a queer educator. Now, do you expect me to perform in a classroom? It's impossible, MEC. Secondly, if ever there is this treatment that I'm getting to my heads, to the MEC, the subject advisors, even some of the circuit managers that are not acknowledging that there are teachers like us, I am not going to be able to execute my duties in the classroom. So I said I'm going to talk about psychological stress and work insecurities. 2, work insecurities in this way that you don't know also when, as much as the learners are confused of what toilets that they should use, you don't know which side are you falling in. We are calling bomenieri, do you understand? And there comes me with my nails, I am so soft, and where should I go? You understand? Secondly, the third one, it is navigating identity with professionalism. Now we have a huge problem, MEC. How do we navigate this, our identity with professionalism? Because I come inside an interview room, and and we do that well. Now, I come inside an interview or a particular school that hires me. Their requirements, they said, we want a male educator. And there comes Udlayetwa, who is flamboyant. Now, the first thing that their colleagues that are going to use is my flamboyancy. Sometimes they are even using it wrong because they know that they won't even include me in serious things as an educator. Like serious school issues that needs to be addressed, and I have knowledge of that. Because they think that we are all... No, don't get me wrong. Because... don't catch any strays, but this is reality. Because you are a gay teacher, they won't take you that serious. They will give you like petty things because now you are an entertainer. And now should I be apologetic that I have a flamboyant nature? No. I want to sit in those meetings and make decisions because I am capable. Now, there cannot disambiguate between me, my sexual orientation, and me being a professional teacher inside a classroom. I am able and I'm capable to stand and teach and have classroom management, MEC, in a class better than a heterosexual guy that is not able to conduct their class. Now, so teachers, there are psychological aids that are there by the Department of Education to assist us. And we do suffer from stress. I said that I will talk about psychological stress also. But you know what they're doing? They think Ronaldo robot or square educators because we are always flamboyant. We are always happy. We are honest and energetic. I am there doing my thing. But they don't know I'm dying inside because of the certain things. There are nuances. Because when I smile again, and then we take it like a man, like, yeah, I'm going to be well. So I was saying these three things. As we go back to our districts, I said to the MEC earlier that today we are not here just to talk. Because so ho bohlokwa hore ha re tswa mona tsatsing lena la kasheko re khutlela distrekeng tsa rona ha re fihla distrekeng tsa rona re bana le maqulwana ao to say that rona jolo ka ba rutabana ba bokoni bophirima re tlo ema rona ba rutabana that are queer. We are going to stand and form a formal structure that will be identified, that will be formal. We have our MEC here. She will stand with us. Whether the country agrees with it, they will stand with us. So let's take accountability. But let's just go check these three things. Next day, into our districts. How do we deal with the psychological stresses that we face as queer educators? How do we deal with work insecurities? Because of there are even other male colleagues that are doing nasty things to us. Like, the way they treat you, they always sexualize you because they think that whether as a queer educator, you are about that. Also that we are not respected well enough to navigate professional. Mamela, ki teacher that is recognized by SACE. Mpone jaka teacher and that's it. Thank you.
That was profound. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, can we please give him a round of applause? Woo! That was heated, right straight to the point, and it makes sense. I can reiterate on that. It is not just in the education space. How about gay? Okay, angel face. How about we gay entertainer, guys? And it's the same thing wherever. The first 2 years were so difficult because social media based and I'm a professional scientist.
Yeah.
So it is very, very difficult to separate the two. But thank you for bringing it up. I'm not going to dwell on that remotely. We are going to move on to the speaker. I know you want to speak. Trust you me. Trust you me. I want to finish quickly with the panelists, my love. Refilwe, kwena also amonga ka modiri molema. Gaufi teng fela for leng teng fa. Refilwe, I would like to give you a chance to express your views. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Refilwe. Round of applause. Cala uza ma flight lapha ndithi chovicho. Thank you, ladies and gents.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once more, Mkulu Tamaga, for giving us this opportunity. We really needed that, colleagues. My name is Refilwe. I am from Ngakamudiri Mulema. I'm working at Situmo Secondary School. So I wanted us to talk about three things because I feel a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, colleagues have already, they spoke about it. So my concern is the silence behind the LGBTQI issues in our schools, because our schools are not actually giving that openness for us to actually talk about the diversity in sexual orientation, which gives it a very difficult thing, especially for bana, because now learners, ke tla bua ka di-learners because gona nong go bua nnete nna ke chomi ya bana ko sekolong. So it's difficult for them to actually be free of who they are, and because they are afraid. Some is because our elderly colleagues, they don't understand this. They don't want to understand this. It's not like they don't want to understand this, and they normally enforce this into learners to say, no, you are this, and it ends there. So this thing, it is also playing a negative impact when it comes to the confidence of the learners. Remember, the school, it's supposed to be an environment where learners now, they learn, they grow, and they also dream about their future. But now, if it's a learner where now he or she is forced to becoming or being something that he or she does not feel that, then it becomes difficult because that learner is not going to perform. And then the other issue that I was actually looking at was the emotional and the mental toll this is taking into our learners. They cannot cope because they don't know where to go. And some, remember, badula le batsadi ba le gore le bone ba ntse ba ntse hela yalo ba tshwana le ma-teacher. So where is this learner going to go? Because now ke go gae o tshwantse a tle go bua, ha khone go bua le ope, ke go sekolong o tshaba go bua because bo mme mama bone ha ba batle go utlwa sepe. Again, ba strict. So this is taking a toll really on our learners' mentality, and we are actually going to have, at the end of the day, learners by Lohor, they're not performing. Not because they do not grasp the content from our different classes, but because of the emotions. And then, okay, when it comes to us as colleagues, because our colleague here, he just got promoted as a DH. Congratulations, colleague. But in some institutions, the promotional barriers detail, because honestly, there are capable and hardworking LGBTQIA community members who are just overlooked in terms of their promotional positions in leadership and management based on their sexuality. Maybe it's because now the management is scared to say, as Fifi, how am I going to stand in front of the parents? What am I going to do? And some are even told directly to say, your identity, it is not suitable to make you a role model. And it's very painful because as LGBTQI community, we are also human and we also want to learn and grow in the system. But now if it comes to that direction, it means now we're not going to go anywhere. So with the policies or what that we have been talking about, I think that is what we also need to actually take note on that, to say one should be judged according to their skills, ability, and results, not because of their sexuality or identity. I think that is what I wanted to say, and maybe thank you so much.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Quite amazing, and thank you for bringing that up. MEC, perhaps on the two speakers, if there's anything you would like to speak about, perhaps to add on or to respond. Can I allow you?
No, thank you very much, Lebo, for the opportunity once more. You know, I'm overwhelmed. I'm humble. I'm really happy, and I don't regret. But I must tell you, and Lebo, for me to end up saying I'm doing it, it was not happy. It was not easy at all, because I'm one of the people by Lahore. Every time, whatever that you try, criticism. Instead of being trending, every time you train for wrong reasons.
Yeah. You know why?
I don't know.
You are doing absolutely good.
Thank you. So And so based on the discussions, I don't want to lie to you. Linda is the MEC OSPEM. There's a lot that needs to be done. You know, I've learned a lot of things telling her we have been ignorant. When it, not necessarily being ignorant, but actually not knowing and not understanding. Thinking that everything is going to be automatic. But let me tell you something, Lebo. There's one school in Naledi, in Freiburg. I went to that particular school, but when I went there, it was based on issue of gangsterism, where it was trending to say that those particular learners are stabbing each other almost every day. Then I came in, only to realize for actually it's not necessarily the learners in terms of conduct. The environment was not conducive. The problem came where? From the management. So, but in Pile, that particular opportunity of interacting, because I could identify, oh, no, the reason why this is user, is the problem is here. The learners are taking advantage of that. So I guess I know that particular school only to find out, this thing, like there's a principal and a teacher, like that issue, whereby parents and other teachers feel actually in principal. The principal is from where? From Limpopo. So those were the issues they didn't. But throughout the engagement, there was a member there who was very clear to say that MEC, regardless of whatever that is happening here, take advantage of this particular, let's take advantage of this particular platform so that we raise issues with you, because we believe now you are not doing justice to us as a school. That is why we ended up being divided, fighting among each other. He's a member. He's saying, I'm being undermined as an individual. And let me give you a practical example. I'm teaching physical science. Go through my files. I'm producing. When a scholar says class in terms of percentage, but look at the percentage, the other grade 12s who are doing physical science. And I'm the only person there. But the problem is that there are higher possibilities that I can produce 100%. But you know what is the problem? Single give fewer responsibility in the school. If I'm supposed to do 1, 2, 3, I have to run around, do 1, 2. But I'm being overused. Like you know. Yes, Tabuka, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He pledged a pleasure. I'm promising you by the end of this year, if you can deal with this particular issue, I'm confronted with now, personally, I'm definitely going to produce more results. And he did exactly that. There were issues regarding Free State and everything. And I might be from Free State. But I'm here. Kabereka more than those who are in Northwest. But nobody is acknowledging that. So it boils back to the issue to say that sometimes we are being used as sort of like an object, entertainer, we're not being taken serious. And it boils back to who? To her. To say that we are doing a lot of work for the department, like others. But when it comes to opportunities, where are we? What are you saying about us? Are you saying, and she raised a very critical issue. Sometimes we can't even, Moody parents meeting. You can see what scholar is not comfortable. We address parents there because of our identity. But what are we saying? What, you know, such things. Which is things we have to look at. We don't have to need a policy. Remember, each and every quarter, we go to the provincial legislature with our target. If that indicator that says, when in terms of management, percentage relates to basadi, percentage relates to people with disability, it is easier for us. We don't have to come up with excuses as a department. Let's go back and revisit that particular indicator. Let's check now we have to put a target in terms of the umbrella. At least we must be able to confirm, to say that as a department, we are here. But at the level of only teachers, we're doing good there. The problem, it comes when your departmental heads, when it comes to your principals, when it comes to your deputy. Bagolo, I see ke iskolo se be ke kra principal ang welcome. I want that. I want that.
I'll be the first.
I see go nne le any school level. I'm going to.
Shout out to Mandla.
We have a principal. Okay. Oh, wow.
The first.
Wow. So now I see. I see why we are here.
Wow.
I'll be able also to report back to say that as much as I'm still lagging behind, but one can report 1, 2, 3. Whether it's 0 point something, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm distant from where? From them. So the closer, the more that I'll be able to account to say that this is where we are. So actually, those are my inputs.
Woo, give it up for the MEC. Ga ke ba bolella ke ba ra ke re ke tla kwano MEC o re biditse le di-educator tsa the LGBTI community gate kana Viola a ka bula sekolo sa di-gay fela mo mafaratlhatlheng ba re ole le ka utlwa go te wa se launcha sekolo sa di-LGBTIQ+ fela. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to waste any more time. Before we move to the break, let us perhaps give you... Oh! When is your time? When is your time? When is your time? Nobody can stop you. Even where's that? Thank you. Yeah,
All right, my leader. No, you're going to assist me with this. Ne?
Okay.
Good afternoon, colleagues. How are you? Are you fine? My leaders, in as much as we are laughing about everything, we are dancing and everything, but we've got a lot of problems in our schools. I want to raise my case that happened in 2022. Lebo, please bear evidence with me. Come here. I was, sorry. Unfortunately, when Mr. Mbandezi speaks, we all go shh. All right, my MEC, you start there, ne? Yeah, my name is Mr. Mbandezi. I'm a departmental head at Buikutsom Primary School.
Yes. All right. So it reads as thus.
Yes.
Principal, he's the one texting. This is just an unbecoming drama. This was sent at 14:36. And then at 14:40, the principal sends another message. Now, this message is pictures. It looks like it's a collage of pictures. I see women, I see men, and I see the gentleman in front of me wearing wigs and full makeup. The principal further sends another message. Mr. Zilande, please stop sending these pictures because it was so unnecessary for Mr. Mbandezi to dress like this. I don't know why he becomes so excited at times. I really don't approve this, and he knows it very well. That was coming from a principal.
I'm not done.
Shh. All right. So this is how I do it. When I say showers, you say shh. Showers?
I sent.
Okay, so now you are sending, okay, dear circuit manager, sub-district manager, district director, MEC, and Miss Simaswe.
May I please interject with that? The
Okay.
MEC, by then, it was Mema Tsemela, yes.
My name is Mr. Moses Temba Mbandezi. I have been working at Tirulugo Primary School since September 2016. I am writing this letter to file a formal complaint against my principal, Mrs. SFA Motwewa, who I have been working under since I joined the school. Following a reply by Ms. Motwewa on the staff WhatsApp group dated 18th August, and I quote, Mr. Zilande, please stop sending these pictures because it was so unnecessary for Mr. Mbandezi to dress like this. I don't know why he becomes so excited at times. I really don't approve this, and he really knows it very well. A comment I deem homophobic was also read by the entire teaching staff. Please see the conversation attached. Based on my observation, this is a blatant case of discrimination and has significantly undermined both my productivity and my mental health.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ow, who fedile? Round of applause! Are you not going to elaborate a little bit? Maybe just say one or two, literally in less than a minute, you know?
Yeah.
Just to give them a brief of your experience.
Because it's emotional, it's very...
This case, we paid, the family paid, remember, now I'm from a very supportive family. My family popped out 60,000 rands to pay the psychologist, to also pay the lawyer. And then, when the case went to the department, it was with ELRC. Yes, it was with ELRC and everything. And then, I then got promoted. Without me stating my mental status. So I couldn't deal with the principal by then. You understand? So it was like, my dear, I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this. And then DH.
Yeah.
And then go fee.
Yeah.
Hey. And I need to still say this. I cannot. Because of, we breed a little stuff. Shaming me, most stuff. And by the way, my leader, I was not at school. I'm a best educator. Ne ke ile ko NTA. Ke win award. Mara, I was discriminated. You understand? So that's my
Thank you. Now I understand why you were dying to speak. It was worth a while. It was worth waiting for. Now, okay, Angel, I see some hands there. Meantime, we come to you guys. What does the policy say? What does the department say about showers? What does the department say, or policies rather, about the conduct and the dress code ya matitjhere? And ha ke re matitjhere ha ke tshwana exclusive ka LGBTI because ke batla fairness. A ke re also o mong eno tla apere miniskirt a fela hore policy yang allow. Ha e tla apere ke gay go te ka gore yanong ke gay ke phoso. What does it say, policy eo? And also the policy ya bana ba sekolo. Somebody raised an important, ke gopole ke mang are why go sa di uniform o kiye o molomong apare ya karata. Also re batla go nna le molao mo sekolong. And molao wa rona ra itse gore sexuality ere you are either a male or a female ifela mo. I'm sorry to say it, I'm gonna repeat. Not sexuality, gender. Sorry, gender. I beg your pardon. Gender, it's either you are a male or a female. So we don't have to confuse gender and sexuality. It's either omosadi or omonna. There's nothing in between. That's why o trans. How trans? O transgender. You are a male. You transgender to a female. What is your current gender? Female. So you can't call yourself a male and a female at the same time. You choose one. Mari molao wa reng ka go apara ko sekolong ga ngwana gore ngwana ga tswa ko tlong le motsadi ga mmona re ngwana ke ke ole wa sekolong a ba le happy re ngwana ga go apere uniform e leng gore principal o tla e approve considering le sexuality ya ngwana o. But before re tsena mo go eo ke wa re tike ya batsadi because I mean ya barutabana because barutabana ke di example a ke re tshwantse le bone di example mo baneng. So morutabana ene o apara yang o le gay o le lesbian dress code e go protector how far gore ankatla ke tsentse with president. So a president gay ba mmitsa minier ba re ke Mr. President Gay. Ba re ke Mr. President Gay. A katla apere yana ko sekolong a go amogelesegile ke buile tsone ne Thank you, my love. You can have a seat. Let's divulge on that so that my teacher le bone ba itse. Ala itse re maleba mo TikTok motho o rile a re o batla go kwalla Minister of Education le kwalo gore ma mistress le bone ba nne le uniform ya ka ma nurse because my mistress ba apara jaaka ba rata ebile sometimes a se tsone. Le bone TikTok a teng. Ke ne ke re ke le bolelle fela go te ma mistress ba go fiwa uniform e kwetse Mr. Molaolwa hela ya ka manese because my mistress sometimes ba apara fela. So I think over to you perhaps if you can address that point.
You see, Lebo, you've mentioned what I love and what I like about you. Black is black, white is white. That's you. Because also we have to admit that before anything, teaching is a profession. And when you start with that particular, how re utsena mo this particular profession, utsena with responsibilities, whereby how le teacher o ema mo pele ga bana, you must be presentable. We can't expect a teacher. Again, you can't expect a teacher. No, it's fine after school. Because of you look at our sector, now is dominated by young people. Let's agree. And then we have to allow them a space also to express themselves. But unfortunately, when it comes to teaching profession, it's a profession where there are expectations. But it can't be that if maybe you belong, I'm a gay, like she's a lesbian, and she's not even apologetic about it. But look what... Decent. That's where we have to start. But colleagues, I must be here and say that, guys, express yourself. I know yourself. Come with the shorts in the school. It's really unacceptable. We have to, that one, we don't have to run away from it because from here we have to go back to our respective schools. And as a teacher, you are being regarded as a mother, as a guardian, a role model. So when you appear before your kids, easy. Make sure that you look presentable. And presentable does not limit. As long as I can be able to identify a difference between a teacher. It's all teacher ka dikisi ay khatile. Teacher dikisi we khatile. Uboro osta. No, guys. Let's agree. Presentable, but let's agree, Lebo, that as much as I was not yet appointed there, but Sare I'm a successor in title. We cannot allow that thing to be left unattended. Because you'd ask yourself for how many schools the very same teachers are experiencing that particular treatment. I believe that as a leader, let me say I'm here. I'm not happy about my PA, for example. Whatsoever. Then I must just stand here. Hey, man, what will I do? No. Before anything, when we address each other, you must be professional.
True that.
I believe that what is there, to be honest, does not show anything to do with a person being professional. There are ways of addressing issues. There are ways of handling issues. But the statement on its own, that one is wrong.
Yeah.
Based on the approach, because there are work ethics before anything else. So I commit before, it's one of the miracle in Pilimoni today, to say that I have to follow up on that particular issue. Because one of the issues ain't Distepang. He is still even there in that particular school.
No.
Or you left, okay, or to another school. You would imagine, if you are still at that school, the environment, it means that automatically the environment is not conducive for him. And also, let the person who that particular interaction. So I think we cannot leave it unattended because as much as he left that particular school, there is going to be another label in that particular school. Are we going to leave it and say then that one being victimized or being discriminated, being disrespected, because that really, it doesn't sit well. at all. So we'll do follow-ups based on that so that we close gaps. The aim is not, remember, the reason why we're having this particular platform is not to pinpoint fingers at each other, but rather to come up with corrective measures going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, MEC. We really appreciate your response. Yes, X?
Thank you, Lebo. Am I audible enough?
I'm not sure if your mic is on, but we can hear you.
Okay. I have a clarity-seeking question. I know that the MEC is going to deal with the issue. We deviated label straight to the dressing code of the teachers immediately after you had read all the messages, right? But what I want to understand, Menir, is that was it, the message was written based on what you were wearing? Was it a gender switch type of thing, an activity or school, or you were just going to work wearing the way you feel comfortable?
Yes, I was going to work. By the way, I was not at the school level. I was not at school. I was going for the MTAs, being awarded.
Okay. So you didn't dress like that in the school premises. That is why I wanted to understand. It's a personal attack. Thank you. Thank you.
And when you receive your award, you can dress as you like.
Yeah, that's
because you
what
are receiving an award.
Yeah.
You can come dressed, you know, anyway.
Thank you, because now I thought it's a matter of you came to school. You know that nowadays we have the gender switches. For a fact that he says that he knows that I don't approve of this. Yeah. So how do you not approve of something that I'm not doing within?
I think that would have also been wrong because it's a gender switch after all. So gender switch on its own tells you that you can dress at opposite sex. All right, his hand has been up for too long. All right, the one with the green shirt.
Lebza?
Yes, Kay?
I am on the floor and the floor is fighting us.
Okay.
The floor are saying we are only working with that side. We don't counter the teachers this side.
Okay.
Can we, maybe, I know your thing is very important, but we'll probably get back to you because now I don't want them to beat me after this game.
All right, not a problem.
All right.
Afternoon, colleagues. Thank you, MEC, for this. I've been working here for like 8 years. I'm from Gauteng, and I was in a process of saying like I'm leaving because every year it's Women's Day, Men's Day, and when it comes to us, they want to celebrate us during gender-based violence. And I'm like, whoa, why are we talking about violence? No. So I'm very happy for this. Firstly, one of the biggest problems I've faced in Northwest, gender roles. I work in a village, so it's gender roles. I'm from Gauteng. I grew up without gender roles, not basically because of where I come from, also because of medical issues. I didn't do girls' job, like your cleaning, your laundries.
I'm looking for a toilet. I just see beautiful things.
Hi!
Imagine if they were gossiping about us.
So yeah, gender roles. When I got here, they were speaking about gender roles, and I told them I'm not doing gender roles. Bo dish up for the men. Bo, you have to be in the kitchen during school events and all that. I can't do that, and I won't do that. It became a problem at school, so much so that I'm telling men what to do. So I'm expecting men to be in the kitchen and whatever. So it was a problem, first. Secondly, the awareness. At first, I didn't tell people my sexuality. I'm just an introvert, generally. So the small talks that were happening in the staff room, one of them hit me in the heart, and I was like, now I have to tell them. So I told them that I'm pansexual, and what you are saying, it's so incorrect, and I started telling them what LGBTQI is all about. Then they told me that these things started at a certain age, and because banna bambaleti and what, all that. But I started educating them because there was one learner who was a lesbian and she didn't want to participate in anything at school. She didn't talk in any class. She didn't participate in any conversations. But it was because of the way the teachers addressed her. And you could tell that this child did not want to participate in anything because of the conversations that were happening in school. So much so, she left the school in grade 9 and went to a new school because she was judged for her sexuality. So awareness is very important. That is why these conversations must not only happen between the LGBTQI community, also in a broader spectrum where we involve other teachers, because teachers out there, they are very bad. Like, they mistreat these learners. Baba bita kama bito. Yo, it's very bad. I don't wanna lie. Another thing is dress code. Ma'am, your dress code is an issue. Dress code is an issue. I remember I went to school dressed in a certain way, but a meeting. The whole staff called a meeting, and I was told to stop dressing like that. He disrupted us all. Because of my confidence and the support I have at home, I told them if at home they don't have a problem and I don't have a problem, and according to the Constitution and the policies, it says as long as you are confident and comfortable and not revealing, you can come to work. So there's no any other policy at the chair dress code.
You can't go to school to teach our learners.
Yes, but
this is why we are emphasizing profession.
Yes.
We are emphasizing issue ya gore yes.
Yes, but there is
any confusion.
Yes.
Very dumalana in terms of the approach. We are going to, this is how we are going to run our schools because that's where our learners, these other teachers, but I can't go, like I've made an example. Look at this woman. Yeah. You know, you can't go to school wearing that jean. Then we are in agreement.
Yes, yes.
We are clear.
Yes, but that is why I'm saying the dress code of how the LGBTQI community dress and how the perspective of people in the village want women to dress.
Oh, yeah.
And how we dress and young people dress. That is, a girl must wear like this, a boy must wear like that. So that was where the confusion was. That is why they called a meeting for me.
Yeah. Are you aware where I spend most of my time wearing suits, trousers, than your skirts?
Yes.
Why? I'm not a lesbian, but I don't feel comfortable. That's me. As long as I came, the profession. That's what matters the most.
Yes, so that is one thing that we also have to look at the dress code of the teachers for exactly how, and even this, the summits that you have with the principals every year, it's something that needs to be discussed there at the summit, so that we cannot be called in the office for things that are not necessary. It's not fair. Also, as an individual, you feel left out, you lose your energy, you lose your vibe. You feel like I shouldn't come to work, what's the point if I'm not going to be myself at work? One last thing I wanted to talk about is accommodations when we go to the workshops. I went to a lot of workshops, so much so that you arrive in time, they do bookings and say, "Basadi ba robala le basadi, banna ba robala le banna." In most of these workshops, you go with the same people. And then they hear who you are from the LGBTQI community, then Barry, hey, when our rebatla, hey,
Kelsey. It's Kelsey.
Excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. There was an uncalled for incident. It will be sorted out shortly. Please be careful. Molly do be careful. How do you feel loto? Your claim nana, claimer. Ladies and gents, Khali dutse gaufi le maoto a tafole, please be careful. Gore loto le ska la wela mo teng tafole ya go. Thank you. Showers.
I've learned a lot.
Showers. Showers.
So when we share rooms, it will be, hey, also Khalela, hey, wari, hey. So because we don't choose the rooms, you get there, they tell you the rules. Ladies sleep together, guys sleep together. Can we be accommodated then? Because when you go there, you go as an instruction that you're going to share rooms. It's not like you choose who you sleep with. So can we be accommodated there at the workshops?
All right.
That's the least you can do. Thank
Well
you.
noted. Kay, a round of applause, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for such an insight. Can we please allocate a minimum of 3 minutes per speaker? Looking at time, I know we really have, burning issues, but we want to get as much as we can so that MEC haya go compile a report about really as much information as possible. So that was just my announcement. Let's keep it short and straight to the point. Where were you going?
Also, MEC, I'm not teaching you your job, ne? But I am thinking because I think each and every one of us in this room has got a story. How about we write the stories and they get sent to, or they get compiled in a form of a book that will be distributed so that people can read and learn your experiences and stuff? Because I'm seeing a whole lot of hands. Maybe we needed 2 days for this, but because I'm now seeing that people are starting to become confident to speak about their thing, and you guys are now taking, and all your points are valid. But let's be mindful of time, guys, and let's give other people a chance to also speak. Because MEC, we've went past our time that you allocated, but I understand we have got issues. Maybe we need a little bit of entertainment because I'm thinking the atmosphere is coming very heavy, and we need an ice break, guys.
All right, so sorry to interject. MEC is giving us an extra 15 minutes to give you guys time to speak. Maybe let's wrap it up so that Raja even weekend so I fetse pele ka di issues because go santse go le war.
All right.
Is that fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I think we must count hands.
The guy with the
guy in the green.
So long on your way there. MEC, okay, sharp, omunkiu. Murutabana akatla aperi solo sa go tshwana le se. MEC, go siame akatla aperi storise ko skolong. It's fine. Rutla? Sorry?
Speaking of which, I once wore an ANC one, Komerikong. I was reprimanded.
Okay. So, wa omangwa fastor ka se tlo apere ANC. So le ya LGBTQI my mistress ha batle ba di apere.
No, akadi apara.
Ka Friday.
Ka Wednesdays, there's a
Sports day.
Wednesday and Friday because
it's a casual
Friday.
day.
It's casual.
All right.
Friday is casual.
Okay. The reason ke botsa is because chomia ka ko raste me ko bereka ko bojana la lina la gagwe ke Brian Mlangeni. Ona go na le dikipa tse di kwetsweng LGBTI tse di nang le flaga. Se kwetse tshepo skipa sa teng. Principal ba mara o promote bo LGBTI e bile o bolela le bana gore monna gago ke tshepo. A sa itse gore tshepo ke brand ya skipa seo. So la tlhaloganya gore go gontsi batho mo modimo re metswe go dikolong. So with that being said, MEC, can I have a suggestion, and please tell me if you support this? How about in the near future, even next year, we have such a session, but we have it with the straight allies, because they are the problem. Because you, as the LGBT community, you know how to treat the students. You know what's right, what's wrong. They don't. Mistress are abua di comments tse di tswileng mo tseleng gore wena wa mpatla ke go batla motho wa modimo ene wa ke go batla mo lodging nako ya tle ke rutalwa nako sekolong ke sa go batle ke go batla mo. Like you see, it was just a suggestion. Over to you, Kay.
Dumelang. Hi. Le kae? Re teng leina la ka ke Themba, but ba mpitsa Noma Themba Maphefo. My birthday was on the 9th of August, so I'm really honored gore e bere kopane like this. This is like it's been a dream come true. Gore e bere kopane like this today. Basically, I'm an activist. I'm a social activist for the LGBTQI community. I have an NGO called Zirast LGBTQI Umbrella. We advocate for young people in communities. If we even go to churches to teach people about us, because there's been many cases. So we're trying by all means to advocate using the funds that we have from our own pocket. Ne? We're not wealthy, not many, but we're just a few groups. We're just trying to collaborate with certain stakeholders. As an activist, as a teacher, I faced a challenge in 2023, whereby I was in a school called Nzweletsoko Primary. I'm working in Nzweletsoko in Zirast. I was assaulted on October 2023 by my principal. It was the three of us, me and other two female teachers. I've been going to court for these past 3 years. I'm dying inside. I'm dying inside because there is no justice for someone like me, because I'm just a mere PL1 who was assaulted because of a gender-based violence was happening in front of my eyes. I was assaulted and I was the one who got most hits. And I've been going to court, and we've been sending letters to SAYS, to Union, SATU, and all these things. They're still postponing our case. They are always postponing. Our principal is on leave for 2 years. Tina, when I go for a leave, I once went on vacation, and I was attacked when I came back from work. Now I'm having fun. What else? My principal, who is enjoying the luxury, and now I'm working very hard every day. I'm always overworked because I'm multi-talented. I work with kids, and the kids love me. I wanted to leave the fraternity because I felt like I've been dehumanized as a teacher. And mind you, I graduated in 2022, and I entered the fraternity in 2023, and I was welcomed into the wrong hands. Yeah. So even till this day, I'm still going on a case. I'm dying inside. I'm paying lawyers. You know, he was harassing us, sending us messages. And even this day, I feel like, I want to give up. To be honest, I want to give up. I want to leave and go maybe to a place whereby I'll be able to be accepted, because I'm fighting this battle alone with not enough support, no psychologist. We had a psychologist that's no longer coming to our school to check us. They're no longer checking us. It's just like, we're just like a statistic. So I wanted to ask the MEC, how can you help us? Because we're dying. Thank you.
All right, do we have any other speaker? Okay. Can I ask our panelists to be off their cell phones? You are the face of this event, and everyone is looking at you. Thank you so much, including you, MEC Kadlala. Okay, all right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm humbled, MEC, and really want to appreciate the invite to this session. One of our teacher development, another task is serious. We have got a serious task, having had all these things, and then with the picture that we have, let the mandate, our professional body, says, ne? From teacher development, we have been mediating the mandates that says our professional body. We know they are articulated in the PEM document, but there is this advocacy that we have been doing for teacher development about the 10 professional teaching standards. We have been doing that across the 4 districts, but I think Memarampete, having had on issues that dress code and all those things, they are clearly articulated in the new 10 professional teaching standards. SAYS is mediating them recently. And then we are partnering with SAYS to say, SAYS, please come to Northwest. I think some of you have been attending them. But we are saying that it's not enough that we are doing. We need to change the approach, having had it today. So I think, Memarampete, we should ensure that we get a register for this community only, so that when I arrange a session with SAYS, we only call this community to come and address these issues. Really nosy in this community. So that say should be focused. Or if there are any amendments to be done in the 10 professional teaching standards, I focus on I really will have to do that, MEC, and then I promise I'm going to engage SAYS on this one and have a session with this community only, together with our professional body. Thank you so much.
Can I?
We've got time for 2 more speakers, then we can close.
Nna ke na le bothata hela gore ko dikolong go na le ha ke tsa ke go offenda batho, but go na le these other educators who are older than us ba di born again. So ba tshedisa bana botlhoko le rona because they regard us as demons. And then because ke teacher creative arts, and then go na le drama, and mo drameng re na le queer people ba ka ba apara diaparo tsa ba gore ha motho le gay o ka batla e le mme mo drameng, so ba ka ba fila gore re promota dio tseo, and le ngwana ko gae ba ntse ba itse ngwana o ntse yalo. And then engwe ya bobedi ke ya ga re filo ya gore mo SMT ke ba golohela, and mo ba golong bao ba dira decision tse leng gore di a re gatella rona. So ke nagana gore go botlhokwa gore mo dikolong as much go tsenywa disability basadi le LGBT e tsenyiwe gore ga go dirwa decision re kgone go protecta staffa, bana le support staff, because ke nagana gore mo Northwest go promotiwa bagolo hela ha o se mogolo wa go nna principal la maybe le 50. Ke simolola go bona di-principal tse dinnyane ha o simolola go nna MEC. So ke nagana gore le yone e o tshwantse e checkiwe gore ra bereka mare ra overlookiwa go gote line e telele re tsenya bagolo pele, mare mogolo o ha tla kgone go dira mmereko ke rona re ba o direlang, mara ke rile position eo. So ke kopa gore le re shebeng
re tla le sheba mandla, re tla le ba leitlho.
Re ka be re ka nna re le bannyane, but we went to school, re na le ability, re kgona go nna di-principal, re kgona go addressa bagolo re ntse hela yana.
Ke utlwa go telegana go dikolo tsa magae lo ka le di-principal akwa.
Dumelang. Ke re Gomoditse Mogomotsi from Ipileng Primary School, the only lesbian teacher in my school. I think problem e re nang le yone, it's a diverse issue. I think in India education is very important, and when we talk about education, Arabic education at school, our parents need to be educated, our staff, our kids, and a community at large. I think more dikolong we need the trainings, yaka the workshops there the attendang. Ho kgone go trainiwa matitjhere re ba rute ka this thing, because as one of the speakers mentioned, some of these people they have no knowledge. It's not like they are discriminating you or anything. They just don't know what is going on. You know, ha ba itse le gore ga ba ka re seko go wena ba go offenda, or ga ba ka re memo go wena ba go offenda. So we need those trainings so that there are schools there are no queer people ko go tsone. At least we know in our schools we can speak for ourselves and we can advocate for our learners. So you get that there are schools there agona the queer teachers ko go tsone, but there are learners by they are part of the LGBTQ. So who is going to advocate for those kids? You know, hence the trainings they are very important so that teachers and principals can be taught and then le bone ba kgone go advocate for these kids. It does not mean that you need to be part of us in order to support us. You know, in my school, I love my school so much because they are very supportive, they are not judgmental. But one thing that I have realized is that, okay, they are in support, but then we have gay kids in our schools. They are not discriminating those kids, but it's like those kids are not given much attention. It's like they do not exist, you understand? And you cannot say that you are not homophobic because you have accepted me as a teacher, but you are not accepting these learners, you understand? There is this one school when I after completing my degree, sorry. I went to I was called in for an interview. I had just completed my degree, one school that I don't want to mention, Momafikeng. And then that principal, like interview, but it was just me and him, you know. And then he asked me if khanke ke apara mosese. Yes, I don't. Why? When I carry otlo ruta bana bujita o etsa mo le jita o dintshang. I'm a woman. I just feel comfortable in my clothes. Hela. And then about her. So so he said, go home. I will call you late. And please wear a dress. I don't have a dress. You understand? So when I was going back home, so honestly, these people need to be educated. Education is very important. It starts at home. We start, community. We need to educate our parents. We need to educate even learners who are not part of us, but they need to be educated. Thank you.
Angela.
All right. So far, lebo haka ya interview aperea America billion. Are we great also you?
Jo, isn't nanana kaitola. Na kaitola so no hakezo you are appointed.
Yeah, Angela, I think we have to finish. Mofe chance, there are two heads that have been there. Yeah, that one.
Ke kopa le ba appointed lar gore.
Last one.
Ke ofing lofing.
There were only three. That one with the white t-shirt.
White t-shirt, okay.
Diagonally to him.
Wasutu, kona lo wasutu e blue. Okay, all right. So ke bone fela ba bofelo. All right.
All right. Ga ke re all right. Wena ba re okay. All right. Okay.
All right.
Nna ke kopa re phapateleng principal ka matsogo bathong. Ke utlwile dilo tsotlhe tse le buileng ka tsone. Mo posting e ke le mo yone, ne ke bereka ko kitsong. A ya ko staffong a re kopa le mpatlele a gay or lesbian or albinism person for sekolong sa ka. Ba mtlhala ka line ba re mogele post ka re o rata disutu a re ka re go tla ke tsentse sutu ka tai. Ka dropa CV ka sutu ka tai ka mmola ke wela ka fane. A re no stress ngwana ke. Mare fana mola wa ke gore bontate ra tsenga disutu Friday ra para dikipa cause ra bana re ba apare uniform le rena re tsenge tie. Ka mara ke re wetse yang khama tle ke na le energy ntsi mo classeng. Are okay my love o ya grade R. So ne ke batla go botsa emisiri ko grade R ke apara skipa le burugo or tracksuit so that ke play base gore ke khone go taboga tata mo ground mo classeng ke ruta ke direla tsotlhe. So nna ne ke re bana ga bana bothata le the gender. But the fourth industrial learners. Problem is my BBT, born before technology. They are giving us problems. Last year, I hosted Mr. and Mrs. Bonwa, principal utile ko narangwana ke if you have ideas, uska bo ko kubala, utlo ko na office straight, utompolel. Ki logo principal ka hosta Mr. and Mrs. Bonwa for the first time, banyana ba computer le ba shimana. Ay malesa ka ay tsaya and na Mr. Bonwa go ngwanyana ka. Ile lesbian.
Wow.
I am advocating every day. I bolela batho ga o tlile la to sala matlakala. Gore go na le progression. E beretsa gender switch. O itse ke teacher mong a commentary
Bibili ya reng? Principal a re tsa mo botsa motho wena e kwala. The next session, I'm from Bonako Primary School. Principal Akaki, Mr. JJ Monamit. In the next session, ko pala mo invite ako na ko bua le di principal at alone. Oh fun, oh exciting. Thank you.
Shout out to your principal. We see you.
Ke kopa o stata ko morago e be tla fela.
Ra mo tlhoka principal o wena. O re Facebook lina re mo re congratulations.
Dumelang. I was forced to be here by Kels. Mawanon tilara o yemeroko kamuso. You are coming. Kere mare Kels bua le molaodi. I mean Eli. Kere mare Kels bua le molaodi a re karwata. So I'm here. I'm very moved. My heart is pumping. Ne? When I hear all your stories, ke batla go kata story short, but before you become anything, you are a human being. Ne? I'm a friend, Livo Kelsey. Tumisang kaya, so tumisang. Oh, out ne. We went to the very same school. I know a lot of people. My story comes I'm a son of a fashion designer and a tailor. Oh, askis. Kena Armando Morashi, Kelokwala Mutswana. Jangwana wako mahohe. I teach in Botswana Commercial Secondary School. My mom is a fashion designer and a tailor. That means I grew up within this community. Ne? I grew up within this community. That's why I love them so much. First of all, you are very smart. And you are very clean. And I love you so much. I want to go somewhere. Ne? I want to go somewhere. In church, I'm a pastor in church. I'm a brother, I'm a father, I'm a husband. But Oksalayo, I'm a human being. If I have a problem with you, that means I have a problem with myself as well. I don't have a problem, lady gay, lady lesbian. If you like most of the time that I associate with. As much as I preach and believe in that Bible, before I am anything, I'm an African. Who came and divided us? I'm not supposed to stand next to a gay. I wanted to respond to also Kanyadi Yadi workshop. If I'm placed in a room with a woman, I'm not Zulu. But you are Tintaba for the Tintim Bogot, and I got Tintaba for Bonyelo. I'm a man. So if you are placed in a room, the temptation, you're gonna be tempted, rebutted at the end of the day. Amen. Amen. So, let us educate our people. With falling within this community, let us educate our people. We are being oppressed. We know worst case scenario, we discriminate you just because just because you have more energy, then you become discriminated. Let us educate our elders. I mean, I'm very happy to see you. Let's go and tell them. We have young people. I'm a teacher. I get paid for talking anyway. I'm a TLO, secretary, I'm a lot of things. I'm energetic as well. These things we see them. We have young learners. They are afraid to even say anything in class just because they're gay, just because they're lesbian. MEC, let's educate our people. Go and everyone is a human being. And we are all allowed to be whatever we want. You can dream and be whatever you want. When you do, there's a problem.
Thank you so much.
He touched me.
ha no re akuma daughter. O no isuru shebile mankadi style.
Wait, I'm standing there and I'm thinking, hey, basadi ba bangwe ba lucky man. Wait, nka tsoga ke rapela modimo every morning ke re ka leina la rara le la morwa le la moya o galalelang.
Oh, wow. Good day, good day, good day. My name is Mohau Tutubala, the departmental head for Math, Science and Technology at the Komoten Primary School. Ayoba.
Ayoba.
Oh yes, really, MEC, we need to tell you that what you have started is a great journey. We feel valuable right now. Because I do believe that even if at school you feel discriminated, but because you are #1 educator, somehow it will transform us. You know, at some point, I started working at Ikomoteng in 2014. And then in 2016, there was Mr. and Mrs. Komoteng. And then by then, there were this, I think they saw me, that this one is our savior. There were these two girls who came to me and said, Minere, re batla go tsenela Mr. Ikomoteng. Okay, I'm a new teacher there, 2 years. I'm like, okay, let me check with the SMT. And then when I checked with the SMT, believe you me, they had no idea of how to answer me. So the people that need to be educated about LGBTIQ+ are the SMT members. Most definitely the top SMT members. Like I heard some of my teachers said here, oh, we are promoting BBTs. So obviously when we are busy promoting BBTs, we're not gonna be able to deal with what is currently dealing with us. So please, with all the principals and the deputy principals, stress to them that there's this gender, and then there's this sexuality, and then go also to the unions, because the unions are also using the male and female gender. So if you can also go there, so that each and every school, each and every union, each and every school, each and every union has an LGBTIQ+, then we are going somewhere else. But if we are going to have LGBTIQ+ people, let me tell you this one. These people are multi-tasked and multi-talented. They can do whatever that they are asked to do at their schools. For an example, I am the DH. I'm also the site steward for SADU. I'm also the #2 of soul bodies in the province. I'm also the #3 in the NTA provincially. But when I became #3 in the district, that's when I became worried. How can I come from the province position 3 and go to the district position 3? What does it mean in terms of excellence? Does it mean that the district has failed me, or does it mean that I have failed the district? Because I believe that if you were to get there, you need to have a support that will make sure that you get there. But about to get there and then you start dropping down, and nobody's worried about that, you become worried. What is excellence all about? So please, my beautiful MEC, deal with the principals. Deal with the principal, promote young principals, especially promote the LGBTIQ+ principals. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let me give the last speaker, but I can say this, MEC, I sit on a national committee of COSATU that has all the unions, and it's all the LGBTI. Things are changing. Things are changing. Guys, it's going to happen slowly, but things are changing.
Thank you. I'm audible. I am now anxious. My name is Mulebogeng Makabane, and I am from Dr. KK, teaching in Tutotsibo Secondary School. And then I identify as non-binary, they, them, and I stand primarily to say I hear the conversation, we have challenges about lesbians and gays, and we have also your intersex. So now I want to speak for challenges from a perspective of a learner who was fortunately privileged enough to come from a supportive family of LGBTI+. well discriminated, supported by my family. And by the way, I grew up in Mafikeng, ke tsaletswe mo Mafikeng, ke tsene ko Solplaatje, ke ya Mmabatho High. And then the reason I left from Solplaatje to Mmabatho High was because I was discriminated for my sexuality, and then I went to Mmabatho High, the most accommodative school ever. So now, the perspective in which I want to speak for, I intentionally said I identify as they, them. Now the question is now, where do you now want to classify yourself? When people are saying male, female, now it becomes a question when I have to stand and say I am a female, becomes uncomfortable for me to say, oh, okay, yes, I am a female, regarding also the slow development of female processes or whatever in one's body. One could say you are intersex, and that in that process you are somewhat struggling to identify to a gender, or rather conforming to what gender that you are conforming to. That should also be a conversation, that these are the challenges that we are coming across. Also, in the school that I'm in, we do have upcoming, if I have to say, transgenders, because this particular boy identifies as a girl, but now they are told that they are boys, you know? So now having to go to the girls' toilet, they are constantly reminded. So I want to deeply applaud you, MEC, for this opportunity more than anything, because these spaces, I think they open pure engagement of all of these challenges that we are going through. And then educating us even, because even most of us here, we also have internalized homophobia, which we are biased in terms of who are we going to accommodate. It is always easy that we are accommodating the lesbians with trousers and everything, especially particularly with the uniform policy. But when we have to accommodate boys in terms of wearing skirts because they identify as girls, now it becomes a problem that I was told that ke senya skolo, gore musimane a re ene ga a batle go apara borokgo, and even ko ga bone ba mo rekela dibakhanea. You can see that he's coming from a family that is supportive. So I think this is the one thing that I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can I just quickly say something, Kay? I'm so sorry. Ares karera mmereko wa ga MEC thata. MEC o try gore accommodator. A gonne le policy e very strict. E leng gore ko gae you can be who you wanna be, maar ko skolong policy ere. Because if we are going to try and accommodate everyone, do you understand how complicated this is gonna be? Because wa go tsoga ka mosware ke ngwanyana, Mr. Sabri mitseng ngwanyana, ka mosware ke moshimane, mitseng moshimane, la tlhaloganya gore le tlo go senya system. So system I know gore there is a male and female that we know. Then from there ke sexuality. Accommodate based on your sexuality. Because if we're not I don't want to be identified as a female. And look, I'm supporting you, you are my brother. But all that I'm saying is, imagine MEC abitswa ko skolong because skolo se tlhakatlhaka ne moshimane low straight wa go tsa advantage wa go para skete a batla fela for makgaga ba ke gay antshitse ke batlile go bua mare just gore fela aspite MEC le principal le ma teacher a ba re fela go dile gate re le banna re khona go apara diket la ntlhaloganya. So all that I'm saying is re na le issues tse dintsi mare re kopa re nne le molao one or dumalana lona o ileng gore ko skolong ra o followa mara ga o le ko gae o kana o ira tse dingwe ke a leboga.
All right, guys, can you just clap hands for them? Hey, go na le lesbian tse dintle man.
Yeah, no hot. No hot. Ke mone le nna.
They will have you questioning things.
Okay, as we wrap up, President Gay, perhaps what's your opinion around inclusivity, diversity, and inclusion, or rather equity within the educational space? In your experience as President Gay, as feminine as you are, as a proud gay man as you are, and I know you identify yourself as a woman now, is it right? Yeah, no. You don't know? Wabon, earlier or identity crisis in South Africa. But anyway, What has been your experience, and what advice would you give to these educators in terms of making sure that they are creating a safe space for learners, and also making sure that these learners are comfortable as they are, or as they should be, within their skin, that LGBTI community?
I want to do this activity. Ne? Ke kopa le meleng. Can we all stand? Can we all stand? The reason why I say, can we all stand? I want it to have sense that we've got teachers who succumbed or who lost their life. Aja gape ke issue ya gore I'm not allowed as a gay teacher or as a lesbian teacher or whatever we can call. But unfortunately, policy didn't allow gore a ka tsena ko principal mme viola a re ke na le mathata because principal ke principal o itsere ya ka itsere gore ke monna e fella fo ga gona fo ke tsenang fo teng. Can we give those teachers a moment of silence? I know there are those teachers who left us. Ona ka leka gore a ka re gana phela a ka ba attend this kind of, I call it a conference civil. And can we give it a round of applause? Yes, can we have a silent prayer of meditation? Thank you so much. May their soul rest in peace. You can be seated. Me Viola, this actually, for the first time in the history of the province, let me start it in our flag, the history of the Republic of South Africa. Normally such sitting, they are rare to commence. And I can tell you, you are going to be the press button for our country with this issue. It's South Africa, it's a country. We have a national crisis. Yes, it's a president. Me Viola, we have a national crisis. And then, when I'm matla and the knowledge, let me use my wisdom, let me use my leadership skills to start it in my province. Ne? And then sitting there, someone just took that beautiful poster from your office. This is nonsense. I've just seen it now. Yes, they are doing that. This is nonsense. How do we condone that? How special are they? And then I was like, it's not the issue of principals at school. It's the society. It's the society. Remember, Hagere is the society is because even teachers are included by virtue of being school governing bodies. So now, is the issue of society. I don't want to lie. And it's a worry because now, ngwana, ge go nna normal ge motsadi a re go ne go le yang go sekolong ka tseno e be ngwana re ai ne go na le teacher mo wa gay o lapisang nyana wa mbora. And then now parents do condone such because even the level of education and the education that they receive, it's not on. You know, I could just imagine ge principal or ge teacher ka fo classeng ga ruta a offera lesson a offerang abe are a nna le bothata le president gay ka se president gay e leng sona o emamfa as a colleague I get justice to education, advocate the purpose of education, a offer a lesson, ene go iragalang ka ene. In as much as ngwana a thuthumela mo desking, how about that person also says, this is my responsibility to make sure that these learners ke a ba ruta go iragalang ka bona. So it's this is a national crisis, I don't want to lie. Mara I am very much happy that from this province, Meviola, you are doing the best. I don't want to lie. And we shall keep on clapping hands for that, because I can tell you, there are some of those who are in your position, ena ga yo bona go le botlhokwa gore a kgobakantshe batho ba a bue ka di-gay le di-lesbian in education. Because le ena ka fo gare o tle ba ana le bothata ba gore ga ke condone this. Yaanong go busy go ka nna botoka gore go trende so se se ntseng jalo. And then again, nna ke irile di-workshop ko dikolong, honestly speaking level, due to my experience. I'm one of the learners in my eras of going to school. I was not shaken by principal or teacher. I only wanted to sit down with them, let's discuss policy and the code of conduct, and let it be open for our learners and SMT. They did it, they listened to me. I get male, female. Marana ne ke sa batlele ne ke batla fela gore re nne fatshe re tlhaloganyana gore moving forward what can we do. And then you've mentioned policy. I'm shouting it, policy botlhokwa ba gaetso ke yone re guidang gore ge go le so re etsa eng. Re tlo feletsa re nnile le crisis ko sekolong, teacher a tshwarane le teacher o mong wa gay. I don't want it. Remember, we are human beings. A teacher is a teacher. Yeah, a learner is a learner, regardless of your gender or your sexuality or whatsoever, and etc. But at the end of the day, you are a teacher, you are a human being. But I want us to take it ka tsela ya gore you feletsa e compromise le safety. Remember, you are a human being. You cannot. Ngwana lena go mmile ko notsi khoning o feletsa go kunupile ka something are you are irritating me. Galompeile for khoning. Imagine a teacher every day ga tsena a itse gore I'm a departmental head, it's fine. Ke headile ka fale ka for foundation phase. Ke tshwere natural science. Le di chemicals tse di lebetse because there's this thing in you. You can't be productive, I'm telling you. In as much as wena self personally o ya mmerekong o se happy because of there's no acceptance. Ga gona gore ba understand gore o eng. It's a problem, it's a very big problem. So we really need to make sure so that ko bofelong o sa utlwa gate Mr. ba khamane go sekolong because o ne ana la bothata ba gore ke gay. It's reality, I'm telling you. Sekolo se tlo tswa tsatsi le leng because of maikutlo a motho. How disturbed you are, how enough you are. Wa bo khamana le teacher e be go tswalla sekolo di ambulance di makwentle le maphodisa ga ba tsena le bo mmeviolo ga ba tsena le di press conference and whatsoever. Ba re teacher o tsere ke maikutlo because o ne a le ka issue ya gore I am gay and then I cannot explore myself mo mmerekong ka issue ya go acceptiwa. So can we really stick to this issue of policy, and then we will support you. Wa ba itse ba kere wa ba yazi wa ba noa. Yeah, these people are very, we might be gay. Now I always tell people, don't be surprised when I'm going to be the first gay president in the Republic of South Africa. Because I've never ever said to the public, ke gay, ya mufuta omoso or omoso. Ke president gay, I'm a human being like any other person. Ga go tare voting ke mang re misang ko pele ga kore go nniwe le di doubt tsa gore why gay ke ira galang gona le ba go promote ko mmerekong o yang why this one, why gay, why lesbian. No, we really need to scratch it out. But Meviola, you see this cohort of LGBTIQ plus teachers, they are the ones who are going to push you to our minister. Ebina lessons gore it is going to be done. But policy, I know it's going to be difficult. Remember, you guys, your characters, your charisma are different. Whenever one fellow gay, push a mandita gay, those are the things that you're going to get, I'm telling you. But Honorable Mutsumi, you've got a point there. can we discuss it further? I'm telling you, we're gonna sit in a national debate about this issue. And I think you are ready for it. I just see a national debate on the issue. Minister Ateohile and the number one citizen Ateohile, because this is very, very, very important. Because if you can hear, there are a lot of stories, steady bullets. You can just imagine, or how do you survive in the morning? Or I'm a teacher, but the whole there are a lot of pains. Lesson plan. How do you prepare a lesson plan? Stress sa lipstick or makeup. It's miserable. So I just want to say to all the teachers, Meola, with you, everything is going to be possible. With you, everything is going to be doable. We amend the policy as the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. In as much as we amended it after 1994, we can still amend so that we can accommodate black, white, male and female, regardless, genderless. Yes. So clearly, me viola. Now I'm telling you, as I'm going to Mpumalanga Honanong, right, discuss Honanong, I'm gonna come back. Because this is the future. This is the future, and then out of this future, we cannot accept my teacher Arona annelebo thata ba gore I me fopile ka di thata tsa go etsa seisi e filweng ke the Republic of South Africa, South African Council of Educators. I tshwereng so. Mara ha tshwantse explore mo yona e nna mathata. Ga ke sana nako. Oh, yes. So I'm very much proud to stand in front of teachers for the first time announcing into you. This guy can tell you, I'm a former teacher. Yes, I'm a former teacher. I've got a degree in education, and I've never taught for almost 6 months because of the experiences that were tormenting into my peace. I left the education because but I love the space. I love the space. I love education. I always just to go there and motivate them and give them the words of wisdom to support also the teachers. Teachers must play a very unanimous role, especially in this time early morning. La itse gore nna la bana ba mathutao ke bone video e nngwe mme viola le yona go go fa matsogo a mang a ma 6 a ke tsoro nka go tlepela matsogo ka maoto or ka eng. You responded mme o rata social media but in a good way. You responded promptly on that issue ya bana ba tshela principal ka metsi. You could just imagine a tsena monyana a gagasella ka yona ke mmone fela mo social media nkare that's good. She's doing very good. So yes, thank you so much, Bagaitso. I think moving forward, we are going to help each other. Yeah, even if it means I must go back to class, let it be. But I don't see myself going there. But thank you so much, Geisha.
Thank you, Chum. A round of applause for President Gay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by thanking you guys because we're about to close. Let me start by thanking you for behavior, Yalona, and also for respecting us. Re romilwe ke MEC mo pele mo. Ke a leboga le your patience. And as much as we're not in education, re la le lona. Ne. And we will keep on supporting God different ways. That's why ribiditswe. But before that, ke tlo go kopa Sis Pam atle gore for the announcement, a few announcements, and then like way forward from here, as we're about to wrap. Ke kopa le mo pele matsogo. Ke kopa le mo pele matsogo until a fitla mo. Ke kopa a le lebelle be re mo pele matsogo gape.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. Ke nna Sis Pam, ne? Document da ka e siile yaanong. Nte ke nne mo fatshe ke tle ke e batle sentle. Kanela re bo mang? BBT. Can I hold the microphone?
Do you want to do it now while OSPAM are? All right.
Would like.
Oh, did you find it? All right. Okay, since Pam has found her document.
I will take advantage and speak seated. Now, MEC, ke batla go go leboga ne. She had deployed me to Stellenbosch for this past week. And as I was traveling back yesterday, I was told there's a session for the MEC and she wants you to come. And I was like, okay, so I'm not going to say anything. And they said, I prepare in case she would want you to speak. So it's a balance of Bebeto and the young person. Baban. Now, I really want to thank you very much before I go to some of the take-homes, to thank you for teaching us today. Many a times, yes, we discriminate because we don't know. There's a young person who works in our offices, go budget. When I started working go Haron, every time Antumidisa Ardumela me, Kitabekere, morning ke sa itse gore ke mo address as mang gore ke sa batle go mo offend. So because of lack of knowledge that there's gender and the sexuality, you don't have to be confused. I learned later and I continue to learn. So this session really helped us to learn. Now I want to really say to you, the MEC in the annual performance plan has an indicator that he has to report on. And this is one of the first things that you've delivered, MEC. Malawari local portfolio committee, Banibara Atekaka indicator. I'm going to read it out to you because we could not report on it. It says, number of school community engagement to combat racism, sexism, hate speech, GBV, and other forms of intolerance to address intergenerational violence and trauma across society. So this is the very first one, the first interaction this year that she has conducted. It's laying the foundation, MEC. You're doing good, and I think we'll be able to report. Now, taking cue from the areas that the colleagues have been raising, I have, while I was trying to prepare yesterday, a number of things said that I picked up was the issue of the policy that we have just been calling out. And because I'm responsible for strategic planning, I also went into our document yesterday and tried to see where have we really mentioned this community. And I couldn't find it. So I realized something is missing, MEC, and I'm happy you said I should come. Because, well, the 5-year plan is tabled, but the APP is still going to be tabled year after year, and we can still add some amendments. So if we develop a policy, as you are telling us to, we will then include it in the APP, and it will be something that will be easier for any manager to implement, even to assess whether they're implementing it correctly. While we were there, I think most of the time today we're speaking about school-based personnel, the educators, and little did we say about the AAs. Because normally the AAs are found in corners, in the offices, they admit learners and they don't interact so much with learners, but they do make an impact and they do matter. Even in our offices, we have a small number of people who are appointed in our offices, but we never talk about them. We never even ask them, how are you? How are you doing? But today, we know. And Mayor Rampete and Masejo, from now, we're going to do awareness so that Bebetos don't discriminate for lack of knowledge. We're going to teach them, and we're going to develop policy. MEC, I promise you that the policy will be available. And I think in terms of the constitutional narratives, we have the Constitution, we have a Bill of Rights, all those are there. We just have to customize a policy that talks to our queer educators, that talks to the LGBTQI plus, yes, that addresses them, and so that they feel safe and they're not afraid. Because the truth is, we spend most of our time at school, in our workplace, and it will either be safe or unsafe, but it is in our hands to make it safe. One big step is to develop policy and make sure policy is implemented. I thank you very much, and MEC, we honor you for this initiative. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a hot round of applause for CSP! Until I do not find second. Pa 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 pa. Ladies and gentlemen, what has a start, unfortunately, has an ending, and we have come to the end of today's session. Very informative. I hope you did learn something from this. And even if you knew what we shared, I hope we reminded you of what is existing as a reality amongst the LGBTI community. I am going to ask our panelists to wrap up today's discussion with a minute or so, just to wrap up each of you guys, if you have anything to say, and then I can do a formal closing. Then we will have announcements going forward. Okay, let me start clockwise. So all right. They're all beautiful. I get to choose it young. We all choose it young. Ngara criteria. They look and sofa. All right, over to you. Do you have a mic? Oh, you can use your lapel.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? Really, thank you. I would like to...
Nice. What a sudden switch. Wow.
I must say that we are a community that has multi-talents. We are a community that is not afraid to work. We are a community that is not afraid of challenges. Honorable MEC, thank you so much for taking the first step into this journey. What is then left for us to do from here is to take the second step, which is now to raise up all the issues that we have in our individual schools, in our individual places, and then come together, form a forum, and then actually put things to action, because united we stand and divided we fall. With that being said, I thank you.
I know what happened. At the toilet, you switched it off because you were speaking on mic. So just check if you're all up. At the back.
All right, thank you, Matyani na Matyanikazi. Let me just thank the Honorable MEC for affording us this opportunity and making a point that we gather here today. I'm a person of action, so I'm going to request from the House now that I have Os Maria from Bujanala. She was the one that was coordinating us and gathering us, and I do believe that each and every district has that one person that has been running around. So Kitloko Pahore, Os Maria, work with each and every leader from every district, take their numbers. We are going to have a group for the district, and then have a group for different districts in different spaces. We are starting by Monday, MEC. We should be having a name. What are we calling ourselves as queer teachers? A proper name. We should be having this forum being established as in like yesterday. Thank you.
No, mine, Lebu, through you, if you allow, I think for me to do justice to this gathering, sometimes we take credit, whereas actually there were people behind this to be successful. If we can allow, I'm going to request team education, all of them, just to stand so that Liti Batubailon, they've made this event possible. Hanes Kabone, I don't think if they can just stand.
Would like
Orei,
to
Oratilo guy. She's outside. Okay?
would like to thank the following MEC support staff for making the MEC interactive session a success. Chief Director, Strategy and Planning, Pamela Rasitswane. Director, Teacher Development, Masero Sinna. DCES, Office of the Director from Dr. RSM District, Lesedi Mualusi. Provincial QLTC, Office of the MEC, Letseho Rampete. Provincial Coordinator for Schools, Arts and Culture, and SASCE from School Enrichment Program Unit, Dineo Mosibi.
And lastly, Michelle, if I can allow, especially the district of Ngakamudiri Mulema, because they are the ones actually who assisted me a lot in coordinating, but not forgetting, most importantly, my office under the leadership of Kagiso Ntwe. Hanka kopa fela gore ba eme so that people must be able to know who are behind this successful program. I really appreciate that. Kels Emma. From Dr. KK, if we can allow a person responsible for inclusive, if she's here or he's here, haka Emma fela, so that we are able to know gore ke bo mang ba behind this. Then lastly, then lastly, Bujanala, where is Bujanala, the coordinator? If Aka Emela. Actually, those are my closing remarks. From here, what we have to do is to work. There's a commitment done here. Next year, we'll have our annual event around October, where now we are not starting discussions, where we are reporting back and provide our report to say that how far are we, and related like across 1,500 and something schools across the province, more all in all, how many communities say they are part of the department. Statistics. That is very important. Thank you very much.
Okay, hello. Nkere la ntlha ke re ke leboge honorable MEC gore na this platform gore tlo go thuba issue ke ithutile go le go ntse le nna and ke feel gore going forward if really together, yeah, there's going to be a change. Thank you.
Ke a leboga. Ke lebogile kgantele MEC ka gore be re tlile mo. Re tlile mo ka di empty pockets. But I feel our pockets now are full. And then with the knowledge that we have and we received today, we should not lose hope. We can see that we are able to support each other, so let's take it from there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I also want to thank the Honorable MEC for the invitation. I am completely humbled and honored to have been part of this historic engagement. I think that this province is really in the right hands, and I'm really just at a loss for words for what MEC has been able to achieve. She only spoke to me when we were in Cape Town on Monday, that she wants me here on Friday. And it has happened, and I think she really is a woman of action. Yeah. I think from our end, we'll really be able to work now with officers of QLTC and the colleagues that are responsible for school-based support teams and district-based support teams so that we're able to do what we can from our end. I think I'm going to have a very good drive back home to Pretoria because I've just been a part of such an enriching engagement. Thank you.
Aye, MEC Viola, aye. Ayoba, MEC Viola, ayoba. Pambili, MEC, pambili. Rahorata. Au, gape di lamuni, au. MEC, re leboga thata. I'm becoming a bit emotional because you are making a difference. You are not criticized because you are doing anything wrong. You are criticized because you are seen as an intimidation that is strong enough to stand for its ground. And men do not like it when women do that. I'm gonna repeat. Men do not like it when women do that. You see that character yabo lesbian lebo tomboy o nang le yone? A re leboge Modimo gore o go file yone. Your lack of femininity, yes, you have your own feminine side, but with the dominance ya gore ha re ke gata loto wa le gata na ha gona o tlo buang. That is determination, and that is why everyone here is gathered today in celebration of such an auspicious month ya basadi mare re sa ile re dedicated to the minority, which is the LGBTI community. The marginalized. Ba ile gore ha ba applyela mebereko ke mathata. La ile gore ba mo meberekong still ba marginalized. O tlo tlolana reng o mo mebereko mara ha ba mmone as a professional teacher, ba mmona as toy ka gore ke gay. That's wrong. So re lebogela gore o re tlisitse mo. I wish you nothing, absolutely nothing on earth but the best. I wish you become our premier, and I even wish you become our president at some point. You are a different breed. You are unique. You stand out in many ways. And I want you to hit your chest one day when you're watching yourself in the mirror and say, I am capable. Because if you could do this, imagine what else you can do better than this. You are a stamp fanak. Thank you. Right, ladies and gentlemen, who will be announcing Dijo, Dino, Jalo Jalo, Echaile? Okay, the announcement is okay. All right. Armo Papa telling Matsoho.
You guys made this.
Thank you very much. Again, Budaza Armoketos Nana Mahasobon. Yano Riduti, re engagile, Mukudu Tamahare. Let's give a in the morning, there were 2 serving stations.